What you got for $179 a month? Really? Is that a lease?
Yeah.
How what down?
They wouldn't accept it.
All right, we're going live.
All right, we're live.
Hello, this is your pilot speaking. We're currently taxiing out to the runway and getting ready for takeoff. I don't see any turbulence, and we should arrive at our destination safely and on time. Thank you for choosing the Automotive Edge Airways, and I hope you'll follow us and use our services again in the future.
Are you ready for the show? I said, are you ready for the show? Ladies and gentlemen, the show you've all been waiting for. Please make welcome Kurt
Thanks,
Chase
buddy.
and the Automotive Edge.
Well, top of the morning. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show, the show that helps you with all your automotive needs. Whether you're buying a car, whether you want to sell your car, whether you want to find the best place to service your car, got in a little accidento, need a little body repair, we can help you with that as well as putting you with the right people, doing it the right way 99.99% of the time, because nobody's perfect. There's going to be problems. What's great about teaming up with the Automotive Edge Radio Show is we resolve the problems very quickly. That's just the way it works. We're here today live, classic Kia Carrollton, with the man, the myth, the legend, the bingo hall dancing fool, the great one, Big Wheel Bo Carver, top of the morning.
Good morning. It's going to be a beautiful day in the neighborhood here in North Texas. What it's going to be about 101, 100?
Well, they say 98 heat index, 105.
Oh, that ain't bad.
You know what I want the weatherman to quit saying?
What it feels like?
What it feels like.
It feels hot.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get all the three weathermen from 4, 5, and 8, and I'm going to have 3 rooms
And tell us what it feels like.
and tell us what it feels like and see how
Yeah,
close they get.
I doubt they'll get very close.
I don't get it.
It's it's summertime. What do you expect? I mean,
Yeah, but we're about 10 degrees higher than normal.
yeah, but that's kind of a heat thing right now. I think it'll cool off. Well, like next Saturday is going to be like 96 and partly cloudy. I mean, that's summertime.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, we can get up to 110 around here. Remember?
Yep.
So
Well, if you want to get in a hot tub, I got a big one.
I know.
It won't be long. It'll be nice.
Well, you got a hot tub and an extra hot tub
and a big one.
a pot cooker.
Yep. So,
Awesome.
I'm ready. I'm ready for 4th of July.
Yes, it's next week,
uh,
and this is actually our 4th of July weekend pre-show before 4th of July.
Yep. I'm going to be, that big green egg is going to be starting up about 6 in the morning.
Cool.
Smoking till about noon, 1 o'clock.
There you go.
And everybody can eat right off the grill because they're going to be venison sausage, ribs.
What time do I need to be?
Shrimp.
What time do I need to be over?
Whenever you want to get there, just lift the lid and grab you some food.
Do I
Yeah.
have to wait for the invite? Because you last time I did that and you never offered me anything, and then I was starving to death. Well, you should have just got it.
Yeah, I heard you didn't cook that day, planning on coming over, but I never called. Is that what happened?
Exactly.
And then, who's that stoic kid next to you?
Stoic.
He looks a little
That's the word.
stoic.
When you look at me, you think, no, that's a stoic guy in that corner over there.
No, this early in the morning, the way you're looking at the computer, you look a little stoic.
Stoic. I think lost.
I'm thinking more like
dazed.
lethargic.
See, that's a better word. I was thinking lethargic,
I
too.
hear you.
He's over there.
Back in studio, thank God she's back.
Yes.
The great one, Maddie Gomez. Good morning.
Buenos días.
Buenos
Sí.
dias.
¿Cómo está?
There you go.
Bien, ¿y tú?
Yeah.
Hey, how about that?
¿Dónde está studio?
What?
What?
He probably
Did you
doesn't
ask me where the studio is?
No, are you at the studio?
No,
Oh,
you-
yeah, where is the studio?
Hey, I think
No,
I'm
so
at the
that would
studio.
be Yo So Studio?
I am studio. You just said I am studio.
Okay.
She is studio.
I'm working.
In
I'm just throwing some
actuality,
stuff
she
out
is.
there.
Yeah.
In
You're doing
actuality,
good.
she is the studio.
I can order ice cream and beer.
Yeah. So can my dad.
Yep. Un helado y dos cerveza.
Yeah. Perfect.
How about that?
That's all you need.
That's funny.
Good to have you back. You know, when I know that Maddie's in studio, my blood pressure goes way down, way down. We love Maddie Gomez. Want to thank everybody for joining us. Phone lines are open. If you got a question about where to go, who to see, what to do, because there is a lot going on in the auto industry with the invasion of the CDK. The computer pirates have hacked into it and created a wave of havoc. I pray they catch these guys.
What is
Gals,
CDK?
whatever it
What
is.
does that mean?
That is the operation system for all the dealerships. Their
Whoa.
computer systems. They've hacked into it and taken it over.
You're kidding.
And
You don't know about any of this?
No.
Oh, wow. He's just totally.
and so they're in Eastern Europe. They have figured that out. But you figure with today's technology, you know, we can find asteroids up in the space, but we can't find hackers. And I hope they find them and bring them to justice. All these guys that are out there creating nothing but havoc, turmoil for hard-working human beings that are just trying to make a living, and you come in and screw it up.
So what are they doing actually?
They went in and hacked the system and shut it all down. Then they put a ransom up of $65 million and turned it back on. And Tavares with Stellantis paid it.
Wow.
And so
That's insane. Boy, I've been asleep.
that's what, you know, they say Tavares with Stellantis paid it in this article, but we don't know actually who has paid it, but they've paid it. Now they said they started releasing and allowing dealers to get back into their own systems.
Wow.
All the way across the United States. Shut them all down. That was part of CDK.
Wow.
And so, you know, it's just amazing that people want to hurt and punish people. And there has to be that mind, that person that can, you know, where I like the hackers where they're on a computer and all of a sudden they got a camera on the hackers.
Yeah.
You know, I so want them to find these people and bring them to justice for the havoc they've created for the largest employer in the world. And then they do, you know, the crypto money where they can't trace it.
Well,
And-
I know one thing. If they do catch them, they should really get it hard. But I don't know if that even happens anymore. I just don't know if justice really. We go after the people that, you know, to me, that we just want to make an example out of, and then we let these real criminals kind of walk. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, well, you know, they hacked into the Pentagon. You know, they hacked into whatever it was, and when they took over that grid in California, they were trying to hack into the Denver Mint. I mean, it's just amazing that this is what people use technology for, is to hurt and punish people because they have no life.
I don't know how
life.
they do that. Carver, you're the computer guru over there. How does that work? How does somebody able to get into such a security situation and hack it?
Well, I'll tell you enough to say that I can't break into any of these dealerships' systems. But if someone wanted to, normally it's the simple answer tends to be the right one. And so you might think that they're in there, you know, slaving away on a program that comes in and maliciously destroys the dealer. But it probably doesn't go like that. It's probably like an email that they send to you. You click on the email, it downloads some sort of malware on your system,
And
then
they got access. Huh?
sends an email out to everybody else in your inbox, and boom, it's just like that.
Wow.
But that's not how they hacked into this deal.
How did they do this one?
The pirates called so many dealerships and said they're with CDK.
See, yeah,
They wanted to verify a passcode to their mainframe, and after the first one did it,
it was all over. So they just did enough to get one to do it.
Yeah, and then
nobody stopped it. Nobody thought
if you
about
call enough idiots, you can get in anywhere.
it. That's true.
And then they put out this big bulletin going, hey, they're pirates. Don't let them in.
Too late.
Too late. They were already hacked in the system, taking control. And I
Well,
had
then
one dealer goes, what do we do? I said, handwrite your contracts. He goes, well, that's never been done. Here, let me help you.
Yeah, like
I did. We handwrote our buyer's order. We handwrote our contract.
Yeah, exactly.
The only thing that was typed up was the, and this is old school for a lot of old car dogs, TRW. And we had this machine, and you could hear it all the way across the dealership going tick, 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 tick. And it was a piece of paper coming up this reel with your credit bureau on it. It was TransUnion was the only bureau at the time. There was no Equifax or Experian.
Right.
And we hand wrote everything, and they signed it. And I went, buddy, fill in that law contract and just make sure, you got to make sure everything's perfect because you're putting in their social. It's how their car's title, what goes, to the bank. And so you can't miss a letter. You can't miss a number if you're handwriting it. But there's also other companies out there that you could send the information to. They would type up the contract and then get it back to you and print off. But, the expenses of what this has done to the auto industry, they're already figuring is pretty close to $1 billion plus. Billion with a B.
So what? All they did was just hold them ransom to get it back running again. What's going to stop them from doing it again?
So now what they do, I was talking to a guy that is a code writer. He was a code writer for IBM and just incredible. He didn't have a lick of common sense, but that guy is just intelligent.
Forrest Gump.
But he said, here's the sad part is now they put in a new firewall, and then they have to hire a company that they keep on reserve in case this firewall gets broken. They have a backup system. So this company's going to sit there and get money every month for doing nothing.
So what?
Waiting for something to fail.
All right.
And what does that transpose to?
More money.
Additional money to the consumer. So shame, shame, shame on every one of you that was involved in this for disrupting people's lives because you're a loser. You have nothing better to do in life than to create havoc and steal from people.
1 minute.
But how much richer are they now?
About 65 million in cryptocurrency that can't be traced is what they're saying. So anyway, boy, oh boy, that's something you really need to pray for. I just pray the Spirit comes on them and convicts them and jolts them and shakes them like a lightning rod.
More like shocks them.
Woo. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. It's the Automotive Edge Radio Show today, live Classic Kia Carrollton. Come on out and see us. Quick break. We'll be right back.
Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Gerald Wade, good morning. Thought I saw Charlie Davis says good morning, Kurt and Bo. So
Hello, my brother from another mother. We missed you a couple weeks ago. You were there with us in spirit.
You're talking about the school reunion or the little gathering?
Yep.
I thought he was going to be bringing some fish.
Hey, Charlie, I didn't know that, but Jimmy Dale was there, and he is a pastor of a very large church in, I believe, North Carolina. Was there with his lovely bride, and he's still a big dude. I forgot how big old Jimmy Dale was. Big boy.
Is that his brother? Charlie's brother?
No, guy we went to school with.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah. And there was a lot of people there that I haven't seen in a very long time, and it was nice. Good seeing Jeffrey Hurtado. Jeffrey ain't changed a bit, and I'd give anything to have his hair.
And
Jeffrey's got good hair.
From your age group?
Yep. He ain't changed a bit.
Must be living right.
He is. You walk up and there's Jeff, and I recognize 90% of the people there.
Were they all your class?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
There was a couple people walk up and said, you probably don't remember me, which I didn't. But once they got to talking, you kind of put two and two together. But anyway, it was a great time. We're going to do it again in September, late September, where it's a little cool. We can enjoy the outside and put everything together.
Will Sakala says, good morning, guys. Truck day today, picking mine and Kurt's 86 truck for tent shop.
There we go. That's my brother from another mother.
Dad Greg, morning, fellas.
Hello, Dad Greg.
That's Judge Christopher Gregory's brother.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, Dad.
Yep. We're what a great time out there.
It was awesome, wasn't it? I wish we could have stayed a little longer for that catfish.
Guns and catfish. What more do you need? You know what? I talked to one guy before I left. He had the coolest four-wheeler, and he had this gun rack on it, and it had all the custom stuff on it. What do you think in guns and everything on that rig that he had, how much he could spend?
Probably $55,000.
You're real close. $62,000.
That's a surprise.
I win.
That's what you got to have to go shoot.
He goes, buddy, some people like this and like that. And, I don't have fancy cars or fancy house, but I got me a nice buggy with my gun.
Well, that's all you need, man. That's going to keep him going for a long time.
And he was telling me, he said, that's nothing. He said, the money's in the guns. He said, there's a guy out here. I saw him. He was showing me his gun, $15,000 shotgun.
Well,
He goes, and they can go much higher than that.
Oh yeah, that you can really get them loaded up, and brands too can be.
So which is more powerful, a 12 or 20 gauge?
12 gauge
is more powerful than
right.
20 gauge.
So the lower you go, the more powerful it is, and 12 gauge is usually the most popular. But then you have the 16 gauge, and then you go to the 20 gauge. I have a 20 gauge, and I have a couple
30
12
seconds.
Gauge, so
Morning.
I have a Wells Fargo version of a. You know how it looks dual, like when we're on the stagecoaches. I got one carbon copy of that 20 gauge.
My dad had a John Wayne. It said John Wayne on the lower stock of it, double barrel shotgun.
I love it, man.
And man, when he pulled that thing out, it looked intimidating.
You better believe. And they sound intimidating too when they go if you got pump action.
No, it was.
Oh, it was a breakdown.
Break it, stick the bullets in, pop that thing, and boom! And they were shooting it from the hip.
That's the way Barbara Ann likes to do it.
Wow. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. We're here at Classic Kia Carrollton this morning. I'm telling you, you're looking for a deal. I mean, they have leases as low as $178 a month on a Kia Forte. Just go to ClassicKiaCarrollton.com. That's ClassicKiaCarrollton.com and look at their special. $10,000 off their EV to the end of the month. $10,000 off. Right when you click on this ad will pop up. You're in the mood. And they gave this Vehicle of the World Award, the EV9. Vehicle of the World. Of the world, not U.S. I mean, I don't guess it gets any bigger than that.
The world?
Yep.
The world's pretty big.
So there's one sitting right here in front of us, and it's ready for a new home as well as everything else they have out. So whether it's new, pre-owned, certified pre-owned, go to ClassicKiaCarrollton.com. Check out their specials. I haven't seen Jesse Holt discount vehicles like this ever before, and he is the managing partner here at the dealership. Very good friend of mine, him and his beautiful family, Kathy and the kiddos. And family owned and operated makes a difference. So stop out here at ClassicKiaCarrollton.com, meet the staff, and enjoy the best way of owning a new Kia. That's ClassicKiaCarrollton.com. All right. So we talked about CDK, which is the operating system for, I don't know, they said 72% of all the dealerships across the United States. It was hacked. Shame on the guys that hacked it, gals, whoever it is.
Now, the system, is that the whole, how to put together these deals?
Yeah.
Where you go into the office and you sign the little computer and do all that, it's all connected that way?
Yeah, and all the ROs that are written in service and go to the system, everything.
And is it stored in that system?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep. It's a mess, but here's the thing. Be patient at the dealerships. As I called around, and I went to probably 16 dealerships this week, and I got to tell you, there's a lot of upset people because here's some guys that are working 60, 70 plus hours a week. They come to work, and all of a sudden their world's turned upside down.
But it's back running again, though, right?
Well, no, they haven't. Not all the dealers are up and running yet. They said as of yesterday, there was 300 and something that were up. There was another 180 coming online. But you're talking about thousands and thousands of dealerships. And
so it's going to take a
they're
little
home
while.
this weekend.
Wow.
Everything comes to fruition, but just be patient out there on the with car dealers. They're struggling to finish out the month. Today's the last day of the month. Great day to make a deal. You look at what they're doing here on the vehicles here at Classic Kia Carrollton. All the way around. Any of our sponsors, if you go to theautomotiveedge.com and click on any of them, right now they are pumping iron. And there's a reason for this. This buying cycle, this selling cycle, this leasing cycle never changes. And it happens. This is one of the biggest traveling months of the year. kids graduate high school, they graduate college, moms and dad book all these trips, they start hitting the road, getting ready to go. And so the sales slow down. And with this, the manufacturers know that they've got to kick out as many specials as they can to keep everything viable, because June is the last month of the year. Once this month is over, they start retooling and dying, which, there's a lot of 2025s already out, but the ones that are going to be totally redesigned or whatever, now we start getting ready for the 2025 models to go through assembly.
So at the end of June, they quit doing it, like they just
the
regroup it?
Or everything's been assigned to build.
Okay. But they'll complete those.
Yeah.
And then
all the parts and suppliers, everybody been brought together to finish the build of the 2024 models.
So how long does that usually take? About a month, maybe?
Well, it depends on, how they're retooling and dying. Are they coming out with a brand new unit, a totally redesigned unit?
But what I'm saying is, if they are doing that, then they pull all that out and then put a whole new system in for
No. They just retool and die it. They have the system, but it's all computerized.
Okay,
so they just go in and type it up and go, we're changing this color scheme. Now we have new mirrors going
I had
on.
this vision of these guys coming in, running in there, grabbing all this heavy equipment and moving it out into the
Just
garage.
wipe it to the concrete and
move
redo it.
out there. Rebuild this whole unit in there.
Yeah, when they set
They
it
used
up.
to, though, right? Kind of the back
Well,
of the day?
your trolleys and everything that was taking your assembly to move everything never changed.
Okay.
It was what went on it.
Okay.
As far as parts and the programming.
I gotcha.
And then you have to train the employees to
the new
put the
system.
new parts on, how they were installed, all the new painting systems, all the different colors that they were going to change. The coolest assembly that I've ever been
Would you want to? Would you want to wrestle any of these guys that just went by us?
For them donuts, I would. But the coolest thing I ever saw was I was at the Toyota plant in Kentucky. And I looked over and I saw this little canoe. And I'm like, what's the deal here? And he goes,
By Toyota?
we get with our employees and find out what they do and what they're comfortable doing. This one guy sits in this canoe for hours and hours and hours and works. And he had this canoe-like seat setting up assembly. Then they had another one that was
Because they make them feel comfortable.
Yeah,
like if another guy's on a lounger.
You know how they put them in suits in the movies with all the you see all the little bubbles and electrodes on them so they can manipulate and do whatever? Well, Toyota was doing that a long time ago with their employees, having them bend over and turn their hips and put their hands over the head and do everything to find out where all these stress points were.
Right.
What could they do to make it more comfortable? This one guy, he loves this chair that he uses in his fishing boat. And so he slides from one car to another, and he's got this like fishing chair on rollers. I mean, the way they accommodate these people. Then you got basketball goals, pool tables. You wouldn't believe all the stuff inside the factory.
That came from when the computer companies started doing that. Like, what do they call that place out in California? It was the computer area out there that was so giant. What did they call it?
Silicon Valley.
Yeah, Silicon Valley.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they were kind of doing with all those employees in there. Just whatever they needed to be real. They even talked about that they were even smoking weed and stuff in there, doing whatever they wanted to do, to get that production out of them. So that's kind of where it started. So that's what they're doing with these guys.
Yeah, they make sure that their positioning and the way they work every day, how can we make it where it's natural? The movement's natural and is as stress-free as possible at the factory. It was absolutely unbelievable as we went through it. I did the factory tour when I was in Kentucky.
Did you get in the canoe?
And a lot of time. I did sit in the guy's fishing chair.
Did it make you feel good?
And, well, it was just amazing that when you look at what he does, and then he had this cool chair for him, to make it work. And then when he was done, he pulled it out of the way and it went to a little area. And then the next person came up that was on assembly. And they had 3 shifts when we were there, building vehicles. And I was just blown away by how Toyota really accommodated their employees to make sure everything was as comfortable stress-free and without, them leaving work sore and,
Right.
which
That's pretty
reduce,
cool.
which increase their health value.
Can we incorporate that on Saturday mornings at our show?
We can do that. We do want like a masseuse behind you.
I like that. Great idea.
Okay.
Thank you.
One of those gaming chairs. that you
Beautiful.
can- okay.
Man,
My feet could use some hot coals.
One of
I
those
mean,
massaging
Okay.
feet things. You
All
know, so you put it with a little hot warm water.
there's a lot of tension down here.
I got y'all. In fact, I just thought about something. I have a foot massaging plate, and I'll just bring that in.
Oh, that's
we
awesome.
got enough outlets. We can plug
All
it in,
right.
put your feet
Yeah.
on it. What the heck?
Foot massaging plate.
Then we get all massaged. That
Yeah,
would be
it's this
no
plate, and these balls are on a this turn thing. You put your feet on these balls.
Oh, that actually sounds pretty nice.
Yeah, I got it for Father's Day. I've never used it, but I think a couple times I might have. But I told my boys, don't do that Ronco thing with Dad.
Oh,
Ronco. All the gadgets and stuff.
Ronco.
I'm not a gadget guy, but
Those
anyway.
were some cool stuff, though, that they would show.
Yeah, there was. The couple times that I used it, I'm sitting out. I don't think to use it, and I put it under my feet. I'm like, wow, that's pretty nice. So, all right, I'll treat y'all. I'll bring it in one day.
Did you ever use the Thigh Master?
No, but I had a girlfriend that did.
Did it work?
She believed in it. What are you doing? She goes, exercise. I'm like, oh boy. She did the Jane Fonda thing and had to have the same outfit
There you
that
go.
no one saw, the Thigh Master, and then they had that all sorts of stuff. But, anyway,
Yeah, Ronco.
I got the Ronco foot massage. I
Awesome.
don't know who builds it, but it's
1
pretty
minute.
good. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. Or you can join us on.
Oh, yes, you can join us on a lot of social media sites besides here on the Talk Radio 1190 AM KFXR. We're here every Saturday morning from 8 to noon. Join us on Facebook at the Automotive Edge Facebook page, Shifting Gears, our sister Facebook
30
page.
seconds.
10, well, we'll have to go and we'll come back. Take us out, Kurt.
We'll be right back. 214-787-1190. Don't go away. We got a whole lot more for you.
You're a rich girl, and you're
I ran out of
But
time.
it don't matter anyway.
That was a good band, wasn't it?
Boy, they showed him the one with the dark curly hair. Boy, he did. He stretched his face, I think, as far as he could.
Oats, I mean,
Yeah, I think if you took a toothpick and poked it, it'd just blow up. I saw him. I was like, buddy, that rubber band is stretched. It's done.
Daryl Hall, those.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that they came out with great music.
Yes, they did.
You could understand everything they were saying.
They called it Blue Eyed Soul.
I like
And
it.
they were excellent. But Daryl Hall has that show that we've talked about.
I watch it all the time.
It's fantastic. I mean, what he does and at his house, or maybe not
It's
his
his
only
house.
house,
It's a barn.
but one area.
Yeah, he built that studio off the back of his house.
It's as big as a house. It's
He had the other day. He had a Cheap Trick in there with him.
Oh yeah.
And I got to tell you what, there's nothing he can't sing.
No.
Because you think when he's singing that he's part of the band.
Right.
Plus, he's a great guitarist.
Yes. Very talented. human
And so I'm sitting there going, man, what a deal to just call your buddy and go, hey, come on, let's come on over.
and all the
rock it."
big shots too.
And then you got MTV paying all this money to have you on to play.
And never
do
leave your
thing.
house.
Never leave.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet right there. Yeah, he's very talented.
What's happening?
So I was sitting out the other day on the back porch, and I told Echo, I said, play Earth, Wind, and Fire. I listened to Earth, Wind, and Fire for 2 hours. And boy, I couldn't believe how many hits they've had.
Oh, yeah. That's the whole thing. Everybody thinks September was it. They had a
Well,
bunch.
no, they have I can't even call them now, but I was going, wow, I remember that song. That's awesome. And here comes another one. Oh, man, that's fabulous.
Well, people always, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Kool and the Gang, Commodores. A lot of people couldn't figure out who it was because their music was so freaking good.
Right.
They sound kind of similar.
Right.
Their beat.
They're kind of that blue-eyed soul, too.
Yeah.
And it's good. It borders on, it's R&B, pop, rock sound. But, I mean,
Have you ever heard of the Isley Brothers?
oh, yeah.
You need to listen to Go for Your Guns.
I'll check it out. Remember that. Go for Your Guns, Isley Brothers. So we can
when
check
that
it out.
song came out, it's a friend of mine bought me that album. And my dad came home, and I'm trying to dance to it, and I'm probably
What are you doing,
16
right?
years old, and he goes, Jane, talk to your son. Kurt, what are you doing? I said, I'm dancing. That ain't dancing, son.
Oh, that's just sad love. You know what? That I would have loved to have met your father.
Oh, he was a treat.
I know he was.
Little bitty guy.
Yeah, no,
amazing.
How y'all ended up with all these giants as kids? You know, where did that come from? You have other
Mom's side.
Okay.
Mom had some really tall cousins and uncles, and my pop-pop, my mom's dad was a very short man.
Oh yeah.
But that generation prior to that were tall. And then on my cousin Eddie's side, Eddie's very tall. He's probably 6'2", 6'3", at least. And then you look at Charlie and then Glenn and some of my uncle's kids. All of them were bigger than their dads. Everyone, my Uncle Butch was maybe 5'6", 5'5". And then Uncle Charlie was my dad's height, 5'7", 5'8". My dad swore he was 5'11". on a shoebox, he wasn't 5'11".
Well, y'all broke that curse, didn't you?
It's so funny. Everybody.
Is there any of the boys under 6 foot?
No.
I don't think so.
And everybody's like, how does that little man handle them boys? Because he got the fear of God in it.
Yeah, he had a big bat.
Oh. he
taught y'all from the
established his territory quick.
Early. That's
Quick.
what you got to do, and that's what we're missing in our society.
Yep.
People always get these little kids running all over them, and then they wonder why they can't control them when they're 9, 10, or 11.
Well, I couldn't be happier. Oklahoma, Louisiana, and now Texas jumping on board to put the 10 Commandments in the classroom and start teaching from the Bible. Let's get back to the Word.
Yep.
I am so in. I hope some of my old schools that I got to go back and teach Avid in let me come in and preach a little bit, because I would.
We'll both go in as a duo.
But we can do it.
Tag team. We
That's
got the
right.
tag
Bring
team.
the Holy
We have a
Spirit and
caller
shake
on
them up.
hold.
What'd you say?
We have a caller on hold.
Okay. We'll take it.
Well, I hope so.
You told me we will. What
Yeah, I
if we
already promised him that.
What if we change our mind?
You can't.
Maddie, I love you. I'm so glad you're here.
Could I pitch the idea of maybe one day,
20 seconds.
not now or today, but one day just answering a phone call, just being like, hello?
That'd be cool.
Just do a good 30-second awkward phone call where I'm not really sure what's going on and the guy's confused. Maybe you called the wrong place, man. I'm not really sure.
When he asks you an automobile question, you go like, what are you talking about?
Or they call for directions somewhere. Where can I go get a good piece of pie?
Here on the AutomotiveEdge.com
This is
Flight
BJ's.
101. Please extinguish all cigarettes and cigars. Place your seats in the upright position and fasten your seatbelts. Please do not try to exit through the exit door. 3, 2, 1.
Warning. The information heard here on the Automotive Edge radio show may lead you to find a wealth of knowledge that could possibly save you time and money. If any of this information causes you to be bothered or upset, please sit back, relax, take a deep breath, and seek immediate help. Now, here's your host of the Automotive Edge radio show, Kurt Chase.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. This segment of the show is brought to you by Eldorado Chevrolet, 8-time Chevy Dealer of the Year. And all I say is go see why. If you show up and you just want to kick tires, you're not ready to buy a car, you want to find out, see what the best possible deal is when you are ready, the place, Eldorado Chevrolet, 380 and 75 in McKinney. Right now, $34,988. That's $34,988 buys you a brand new Chevy Silverado Crew Cab. No one in town does better. No one in town works better, and no one in town works harder for when you're ready. A lot of people have said, buy or die. You got to buy today. Why wouldn't you buy today? And they turn up the pressure. Well, we know what Jason Longing says, don't we?
Yes, we do. Pressure makes diamonds, but not happy customers.
That's right. They take all the pressure away. They just welcome you to the store. And if you'd like to get a haircut while you're there, they got a barber shop in there too. Right next door, Tommy Milton at El Dorado Mazda, one of the fastest growing lines of vehicles. And when you meet them, you see this brand new updated facility, and you drive their products, you'll understand why. All in one location, 380 and 75 in McKinney. Start online at ElDoradoChevy.com. That's ElDoradoChevy.com. Let's go to the Automotive Edge hotline, and who do we have with us this morning?
Hi, Kurt. This is Cliff and Keller.
Cliff and Keller, how are you, buddy?
Hey, I'm here too, Cliff.
Well,
I'm here too.
But I didn't give you a chance.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Boy, what an ego he has.
Yeah,
huh,
look
Cliff?
at
He
that.
asked me a question. I answered his question.
There you go.
What's happening?
So, anyway, before I forget, Dr. Jarrett said next time I talk to you, ask me if I'd tell you hello for him.
All right. I love that guy.
He's great. Yeah.
He is the entertainment in the city of Keller.
Yes, and all over Keller.
Yeah, you know, I was at a
anyway,
event
what
with
was it?
him, and him and I, they had the silent bids, and Jared goes, here, stand behind me. He goes, anybody watching? And he's writing all of his buddies' names on all these bids and putting big numbers on it. I said, what are you doing? He goes, I'm bidding for all my buddies. And so here they start announcing. These guys are looking around. They never even bid on anything. And Jared goes, oh, they got the money. They can pay for it.
Oh, wow.
He's the best.
Yeah. Well, I was going to tell you when they send out these emails, these people are trying to hijack their software applications.
Uh-huh.
It's called phishing with a PH.
Right.
Spelled with a PH, and they get most of their information that way if someone actually just gives it to them. But anyway, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I called in with you called it the question of the day. I mean, a tip for the day. I've got a question for the day.
Uh-huh.
I'd like to know yours and Bo's, and it'd be kind of cool to hear from callers too. Top 5 concerts and the one you missed that you wish you had gone to and had a chance to.
Ooh, wait.
We all listen to music in our car. We listen to music in our car, so it's kind of tangentially car related.
Yes.
Well, Cliff,
definitely.
do you know what the number one thing in the world that people memorize?
It's songs.
Songs.
Yep.
Okay.
They memorize songs more than they memorize anything else in the world.
Well, they say it's a universal language.
Yep.
Music is a universal language, and I believe it is.
So I'd have to pass that to Bo because you know what? I don't like concerts. I don't go to concerts. I don't do concerts.
But
The last concert I went to, they thought I was having a heart attack, and I looked up, and I've got paramedics doing compression. They were calling in care flight. Luckily, it was not a heart attack.
that's because he was jumping on stage and trying to play cowbell. They had to escort him
What
off.
concert that was?
It was Neil Diamond. And my wife loves Neil Diamond, but I did get to have dinner and meet Chris Stapleton, and 6 months prior to him getting all the awards, went and listened to him play. But I was kind of backside stage-ish. I wasn't in the big group, but I had a chance to meet George Strait and go to the concert. I sent my wife and son.
Wow.
I did get to have meet Stevie Nicks, but I gave away the tickets to the concert. I've got to meet a lot of really cool people, and they always ask me, will you come to the concert tonight? Well, I don't do concerts, and they look at me like I'm an idiot, but I've been really blessed. I met Gene Simmons, Stevie Nicks. I met the lead singer for Kiss. I met Pink Floyd, the band, and then gave away the tickets.
Wow.
I never stayed for the music. My brothers, there's 5 brothers, and I gave them all the tickets. I was sitting at the pool, and I met ZZ Top before there was ZZ Top in Irving on Coker Road.
Wow.
And they were the opening band for a band called Point Blank. And I met
I remember them.
I met Billy Gibbons, and I told him, I met you before you were no one. And he goes, really? And I went, yeah. You were playing with Point Blank on Coker Road at these apartments. And I'm telling you what, it jolted him. He goes, come here. He called his 2 other band members over. So for me, I've got to meet cool people. The one concert that I enjoyed that I did stay for the whole thing was Casey and the Sunshine Band, Gloria Gaynor, and Kool and the Gang. But other than that, Bo, I'd have to flip that over to you.
Well, I'm sort of the same way over the years. I've been, I'm a musician, so I played a lot. So I didn't really like going to concerts either. But the Doobie Brothers was one that I went to, which was a phenomenal concert with Michael McDonald when he was with them.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And Billy Preston, I don't know if you remember him.
Will it go round in circles?
What a great concert that was.
Yeah.
Then I played a lot at Billy Bob's and opened for a lot of people. I loved Marty Stewart. He was one of my favorites, and a lot of people there. So there's a lot of people, but what I would have loved to see that I haven't was Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yep.
That would have been one I'd want to see.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess truly I would have liked to have seen Elvis.
Yeah.
I mean, so many times that he would have come through, I would have loved to seen Elvis in concert. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have similar things that they would have liked to do. And what a great thing to bring up.
Cliff, go ahead. Your best concert, and who would you like to see?
Oh, okay.
He called in and didn't have an answer.
No, I have an answer. Well, start from 5 and go to 1.
All right.
Rolling Stones, number 5.
I would want to do that too.
At Will Rogers Coliseum. So they were the Brown Dirt Cowboys when they advertised them on the zoo.
Wow.
4 is The Who.
All right.
1 minute.
And 3, Led Zeppelin. 2, Yes. Number 1, Pink Floyd.
Boy, you're just...
He gets out there.
He got that old rock and roll.
Time he got to Pink Floyd, I'm climbing the wall.
And one I missed that I wish I had made was Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Oh, yeah. Great stuff.
Well, thank you. That's
you made
awesome.
you just took me back to some great places there, Cliff.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
If you got a favorite band or a concert you wish you would have gone to, chime on in. We're open to talk about just about anything.
We got to take a break
Here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show. Cliff, you made my day. Thank you, brother. We'll talk to you soon. Give Jared a hug for me.
You too,
as
buddy.
well. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. Quick break. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
So I played a little bit of Fifth Dimension for Purple Haze on the back porch the other day. She goes like, "Are we in an elevator?"
Fifth Dimension, up and away in my beautiful
She
balloon.
goes, "Are we in an elevator?" I go, "Yeah, well, I'll change it."
You know, I remember when I'm standing at a event and right next to me is Tom Petty.
Oh, now that's a concert. Now I've seen the concert on TV,
And
but I've
I
never
looked
been.
over and I
It is
went,
awesome.
"Hey, Tom, how you doing?" He goes, "Are you the announcer here?" I went, "No." I said, "I run a nightclub."
Where was this at? Did you met him?
We're at the Dallas Convention Center.
Oh, okay.
And I said, "I run a nightclub." They gave free tickets and everything. And he goes, "Dude, you ought to be the announcer here." And so we just started shooting the bull, for just a minute. I said, "Hey, good talking to you." He goes, "You can be at the concerts?" "Nah, I gave my brothers the tickets." He goes, "You need more tickets?"
Oh, he was great.
And I said, "No, I don't do concerts."
I've seen the concert on like one of those educational stations like Channel 13 or whatever, and you can find it on YouTube, and it's phenomenal. It's that music and they jam on some of those songs, and yeah, he's one of my favorites too. And
you know who I'd like to hang out with and spend just have a great conversation with is John Bon Jovi.
yeah, it'd be kind
What
of cool.
he's done, he started that
With that
restaurant in New
Give
Jersey.
food away, doesn't he?
Yeah, if you can't pay, you eat for free, and there is no price. You pay for what you think the food was worth. There's no price on any of the menus.
Putting a lot of pressure on me.
And so there's a lot of people, that they pay so much for this food, and he's got these top chefs in there cooking. The guy's worth hundreds of millions of
Right,
dollars.
of course.
And so there's I think 4 or 5 of them now that have piloted off of it. In fact, my cousin Charlie started one in Colorado, and they were taking people off the streets and the ones coming out of prison and taught them culinary.
Oh, wow. How sweet is that?
And got them clothes to be waiters and waitresses and taught them how to do it and started this thing before Charlie retired. But when you listen to his story and what he went through and how things went to become John Bon Jovi with one girl, loyal to one girl, wasn't into the pot and all the rest of that drinking, led a good, clean life. You look at him now, and then, his struggle with his throat.
Right.
Finally found the right doc. And I was watching this documentary. Michael Strahan was the MC for it, and I was just so impressed listening to this guy. And I didn't know that his lead guitarist, Ricky Zambora, owned part of the library of Bon Jovi.
Wow.
And sold it and made bazillions of dollars.
Yeah. Wow.
And I was just so fascinated. But when you listen to him, he has a lot of insight to share with people. If you do this, the chances are this is going to happen.
That's
if you
awesome.
do this, chances are this is going to happen. And just listening to him and his philosophy, he's not mad at anybody, wasn't mad at Zambora, and didn't do this. And you figure out a way to make things work in life. And
That's
gosh, he was so fascinating to listen to. What an intelligent human being.
Very positive, huh?
Yeah.
Wesley Stewart says, morning, Bo and Kurt from down there in Florida.
Hello, Wesley Stewart.
Beautiful day, I'm sure, down there.
I see the lovely Mrs. Chase tuned in.
Yeah, told her good morning already.
And what'd she say? Oh,
She says, love Bo.
I love Bo. Good morning, fellas. She never says good morning, honey. She's always got to include you in my hello.
Well, she sends me IM messages.
Oh, ain't surprised. Ain't surprised. Everybody loves Bo. To know Bo's to love Bo.
I pay him.
You pay him with love. Pay him with love.
I got to pay him somehow.
That's right. Boy, your wife was so funny when y'all were on the road and she called me. Hi, is this Kurt Chase? You won 3.
Did she do that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she didn't tell me about that.
It was outstanding. I went, who is this?
She did that? She didn't tell me that.
Oh, it was great. She was calling to let you know you won. And I was like, who? And then I caught on to who it was.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
So hopefully Judge Gregory raised good money. And,
Purple Haze starts her new career off on Monday. She's real excited about it.
Yep.
X-ray technician. It's going to work 3 days a week.
Nice.
She's excited about that because she says most of the time I was there 10 or 12 hours at her other job anyway. So get the 312s in and have 4 days off. I got a feeling I'm going to be doing a lot of work.
There's a friend of mine that just his daughter just hit the road, and she is a traveling nurse.
Yeah, they make
and
a
I'm
lot
shocked
of money.
what they're paying her.
They making a lot of money.
So they put her up and pay for the apartment. She's in an apartment across from the hospital. Her meals are everything's taken care of. And I'm going,
good money,
and she's
too.
making how much? Wow. He said at this pace in 10 years, if she
30 seconds.
was just to stay single and travel and do what she's doing, she could retire. Being smart with her money.
Right.
And I was like, holy cow. When he told me what she was paying because of her specialty, whatever
Right.
it was, I was like, since she writes her own ticket.
I was trying to get Purple Haze on the road. Could you get one of those?
I need to pack my
jobs?
bags. No, they're on the porch.
I got it ready to go. I've already signed the contract for it.
Don't worry about a thing. We got automatic deposit. You just show
It's
up.
good to go, man. All you got to do is come to pick you up at the Uber. You'll be ready to go.
Here's another guy. Stevie Wonder, Lionel Richie, never wrote a bad song.
Yeah.
I mean, every song they wrote, Lionel Richie was with the Commodores,
It's too bad that he never saw what he wrote.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. This segment of the show is brought to you by Driver's Edge Auto Repair. Go online. They got 50% off their oil changes. 50% off. A lot of people are going to be hitting the road. You don't want to jump on the airlines. You're going to enjoy this great country that we live in and travel. Get your car road ready. Get your car road ready. And the best place, Driver's Edge Auto Repair. They've been a sponsor for this radio show for over 20 years now. If you start online at mydriversedge.com, that's mydriversedge.com, find the location nearest you and let them take care of your car for you. My son the other day, I said, have you checked your oil? He says, a little dark, so I added some. Like, take that stinking car over to Driver's Edge Auto Repair.
That's right.
And they changed his oil, cleaned up his fluid in his radiator, and he's off and running. I said, buddy, if your car goes down, you're done. You can't get to work, can't get any money, and I'm going to put a lock on the refrigerator. So
That probably hurt
Yeah.
him worse than anything.
yeah, get that work done. And here's the thing: they don't winterize, they don't summerize, they do the work that's needed at the time, which separates them from just about everybody else when it comes to these independent shops around. You know, they put this fear factor in you until you need all these crazy things. At Driver's Edge Auto Repair, it's the work that's needed at the time. And they'll print a piece of paper out to you going, hey, in the next 5,000 miles, 2,500 miles, here's what you need to be looking at on your vehicle.
And they got tires too.
That's it. And let's just say that you have a big repair and you don't have the money to have financing available as well. The place, mydriversedge.com. That's mydriversedge.com. Over 23 locations now in the DFW area. That's mydriversedge.com. Let's see here. I was thinking about a couple things to talk about today. One thing that I was noticing in all my research that I did for the week is the EV push and how so many people are coming out, even people in Congress, manufacturers, suppliers going, we really, 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 really need to pull the reins on this deal.
Well, a lot of manufacturers already have done that, right?
Yeah, they're really slowing down production on it. And what's happening is so many of you listeners are now calling me going, I want to get out of electric vehicles. I don't, I want to go back to gas vehicles. And their hearts are broken when I told them what their vehicles are worth. And a guy yesterday, he was doing a review on the cars, and I think he was way over the top, where, you know, he's saying electric vehicles are depreciating 50%, and when you drive a new car off the lot, it's depreciating 30 to 40%. I'm going,
No.
I disagree 100%. I don't know what kind of vehicles he's talking about that depreciate 50%. And I don't know what new vehicles that he's talking about that he says they depreciate immediately 30 to 40%. Now, let's go back to COVID. In COVID, there were some vehicles that were selling for $25,000 over sticker, $30,000 over sticker. So when you add that in and then you look at your depreciation for 2 years, yeah, you had a big number.
Well, it's circumstantial there.
Yeah, if he's going by those numbers, you would have to go, okay, you know, those numbers during COVID, you're probably right. But overall, that's just not right. But the average person that contacted me on their electric vehicle, on average, and I did 11 appraisals, was $20,000 upside down. And they're going, what do I do? And I said, well, either come out of pocket with a bunch of cash and get out of it, or start
Just keep
doubling up on
driving
your
it.
payment and get that number down is the best thing I can tell you, because you look at the only two that are really still going all in on all electric is Volvo and Jaguar. They're still going, no matter what, we're still going all in on electrification. Don't get it, don't understand. I think they're going to really realize they shouldn't have done that. But for a lot of you, I'd like to praise your car for you. There were some people that had equity. There's some people that broke even, but the average was well underwater. But if you're looking to make that change, go to my website, theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt, scroll down. There's an appraisal form. Fill that out, and let's get you a good, hard number on that vehicle. 214-787-1190. We're here today live. Classic Kia Carrollton. Come on out. We'll be here to the noon hour. And enjoy a great way of shopping, buying, or leasing your next new Kia. It's ClassicKiaCarrollton.com for directions. We'll be right back.
Would you do me a favor?
Huh?
Would you do me a favor? Go get my water.
Oh, of course.
Sit that water back there. I turned it down. I'm trying to clear my throat.
You and me finding each other for so long.
So I got this.
More than stronger. Take it from me. If you give a little more than you're asking
Tonight.
for.
Great song. You know what I found out yesterday?
What?
I really never knew this, but there's so many great bass lines on the your favorite group,
Bee Gees.
Bee Gees, right? So many great bass lines. I'm going like, man, this is some grooving stuff. So I'm going like, I bet, I just imagine, and don't take this in a wrong racial way, but I imagine this cool black guy getting up there and really just
Thumping.
meat and potatoes this bass, right? For the Bee Gees. It's Maurice Gibb.
Yeah.
I was shocked. That guy was phenomenal. A card? Like you got to buy it?
No, I can get us some water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holler at that guy right there
Ask
sitting
him if
behind
we can
us.
get a
Ask him if
couple
we got some
waters.
bottled water. He'll tell you. $5 a piece.
Put it on my account. Account that I ain't got an account. But no, I was shocked. I mean, that he
Yeah.
was bad to the bone.
And he wrote most of the music.
I swear.
Him and his brother. The lead singer, a little bit, but the other two brothers really wrote most of it.
I was shocked. I'm going, this is one.
You're
bad
waiting to see
one.
some big old boy thumping like
That's what I'm saying,
Like Alan Cool and the gang.
Yeah, like
thumping.
it is really good. all this laying down this meaty bass parts and all these grooving parts. I'm going, there's no way a white guy can do that. There's no way. And then I saw, and I decided to look it up because I'm curious. Maurice Gibb, who played. He said there was occasionally they'd bring some studio guys in, but 99% of the stuff was Maurice Gibb playing.
Wow.
Pretty awesome, huh?
That is awesome.
It's meaty too, man. That bass, those bass lines in those songs are fantastic.
That's another band that they never had a bad song.
Would you have liked to see them in concert?
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
That would be one,
No
probably.
doubt. Yeah. Without Barbara Streisand.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
thank you. Appreciate it. Did you put that on your account, Carver? Huh? Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, that the music they put out, even when Andy was with them, goodness gracious, every song you could identify to.
Oh, no doubt.
100%.
Very talented family, that's for sure.
Oh, no doubt. I hate to see Barry Gibb. Remember when he married the girl from Dallas?
No, that was Andy.
I mean, Andy, yeah.
And then he supposedly got whacked out of her, separating from her.
Yeah.
Pamela, what's her name? Pamela something?
Victoria, no.
No. You're not there?
I guess not.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
If you tell me who you're talking about, I'll summon a name.
It's Andy Gibbs'
The girl from
girlfriend.
Dallas that married Andy Gibb.
They married? Did they actually marry?
I thought they did.
I don't think they did. I think they were just going
Victoria Principal?
Well, I did Victoria.
principal. Yeah, you're right.
I can't find her.
There was a
last name.
Pamela on there too. Was that
Yeah, principal.
was
Yeah,
that JR's wife on there? Pamela something.
Yep.
Yeah, Victoria Principal.
Man, they used to do their hair so crazy.
The big 80s look.
Yeah,
Well,
all
she
blown
was
out.
something.
She had some too.
She's a honey bunny. She married JR.
Who?
I mean, no, his brother in the movie,
Yeah, Bobby.
Bobby.
Hey, Bobby.
Hey, Bobby.
That guy he reminds me of James, your buddy. Hey, Bobby. What you doing? Well, that was a good show. Did you watch that?
Dallas?
Oh, I watched
Oh,
the
yeah.
heck out of it.
I watched that in Dynasty.
I watched Dynasty too. Now, they lost me the way they brought Bobby back.
Yeah.
And I'm going like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't have 3 years or 4 years of these episodes and then go like, it was all a dream.
Yeah.
Wow. That was crazy. That's why you never kill somebody off the show.
Yeah.
Send him packing.
Do you remember who shot JR?
Yeah, his wife.
Yeah. Boy, did that bring in the revenue and the sponsors?
Well, it was the end of the season that they did that, and you had to wait
Kind of like the Luke and Laura wedding.
3 months. Give me a break.
Everybody had to be a part of it.
Everywhere you went, it's like, this big wedding's coming up. I'm going, what are y'all talking about? Well, it's like Days of Our Lives or something, wasn't it? Was it Days of Our Lives or Young and the Restless?
General
1 minute.
General Hospital. Thank you. Sheila, she said it's Victoria. principal. Thank you for helping out on that. We always run into some brain locks, but
I forgot your deal.
yeah, I needed it this morning. Did you bring my shirt?
Probably with your avatar.
30 seconds.
Sitting on the
You
chair.
told me you was going to load it up, pack it up as soon as I got off the phone with you.
I'm gonna tell you what, you have, Melinda, if you'd have seen the condition I was in after working in the yard yesterday, oh man, I was a mess.
You don't have PTSD, do you?
It's something. I don't know what it is.
Or what do they call it the kids have nowadays? What do they call
Lazy disrespectfulness.
it? That's
That's what it is.
exactly
I'm
what it
diagnosed. Is that powder like? Is it caffeine based or is it? Like,
No, well, it's yeah, it comes
speaking. We're currently taxiing out to the runway. And,
Oh, so it's like a
getting ready for
healthier
takeoff.
Yeah.
alternative.
Don't see
all
any
vitamins,
turbulence.
no
We should arrive at our destination safely and
pretty
on
good,
time.
Dad? Last time we
Thank
had
you for choosing the Automotive Edge Airways, and I hope you'll follow us and use our services again in the future.
Are you ready for the show? I said, are you ready for the show? Ladies and gentlemen, the show you've all been waiting for. Please make welcome Kurt Chase and the Automotive Edge.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. Helping you with all your automotive needs on this gorgeous Saturday morning here at Classic Kia Carrollton. This segment of the show is brought to you by Big Will's Body Shop. You got that 3/4 ton or bigger. I was just there at the shop with Will the other day. And you know what? It's so cool because, you know, he was the mayor of Cotton Patch, but he's also the mayor of Chili's.
Oh, spreading his wings.
He gets to order stuff that's not even on a menu.
Don't you like that?
The waiter came up and he goes, you know, I want the sandwich not on the menu. I'm like, oh, wow, man, I'm with Will Sakala. You know, I was there and I saw the buses, the RVs, the big trucks, the oil rig trucks, the 18-wheelers, 3/4 ton pickup trucks, 550s, 450s. If you are that business or independent that needs that vehicle taken care of, it doesn't get any better than Big Wheels Body Shop, 35 and Risinger Road. You can actually go online to bigwheelsbodyshop.com. And you can have Chris or Jordan come out and do the appraisal, take a look at your truck. They can get it hauled over there unless it's drivable, and let the people at Big Wheels Body Shop help you with your automobile. That's bigwheelsbodyshop.com. Let's see here. What would be, here's a great question for the listeners and you. What would need to be the price and the mileage to drive an EV?
You talking about mileage? How long you can go into the
How
charge?
far? How many miles on a full charge? And what price point would you go, you know what? I'm going to take an EV.
Well, the biggest concern I have is not so much how far you can go, but how long it takes to recharge.
Mine is charging availability.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And how long it takes to charge it. So even
Okay, so
if it went 300 miles, I'd be okay with it if I could pull in and charge it.
okay,
in
instead of what it's not doing, what would it take to do for you to be an owner?
Well,
We
first-
already know charging is a problem. We already know distance is a problem. We already know price is a problem. What would those numbers look like to go, I'd put that in my driveway?
Well, there's still some other issues. You still have to have a charging station at your house. So that's a
Okay,
cost.
we're factoring all that
all
in.
that in. Okay, okay. Well, I
Yeah,
would
let's not go down. The list of negatives is already published. What
We
would be
could
the
be here all
list
day
of
for that.
positives for you to
Right.
go, I'd put it in the driveway?
Okay, if all that
your garage.
if all that was settled and you could take care of all
You had
those,
no bad on your checklist. Your
Right,
good
no bad
checklist
on
would
the
be
check.
what?
I would say that maybe 45 grand.
Okay. What kind of distance?
I'd like for it to at least be 350, 400,
Okay. And how long to charge it would make you happy?
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. That car is going to be so hot you couldn't
Yeah,
get
you
in.
want a supercar.
Well, if they want me to buy one, they better make it 5 minutes. I can pull up to a gas station and be out of there in 3.
Well,
Does that kind of attach to, do you think, without the self-driving, like, kind of angle, do you think EVs would have ever caught on in the first place?
No, I think that the green agenda is fictitious. It is ridiculous. There's so much false in what they're saying. It was all created by Al Gore because he couldn't become president. He found his niche and started traveling around the world being the sky's falling Chicken Little, and we've got to clean it up. And there is no proof of what they're saying. It's fear. It's fear. I've sent you, Bo, the top scientists in the world.
Saying all that.
And they're going, this is BS. They are sending money down a rabbit hole to pacify their own friends. That's what Congress is doing, wasting our money because nobody has an answer. Even when they bring in the top people from the EPA and everybody else, they don't have an answer. They're just saying, well, with more research, okay, then go do your research and come back. But they don't have any proof of what they're saying.
Wilson Collins says, for me, price of the vehicle would be $38K, 450 miles, and a 2-hour charge.
There you go.
But then he says, I'm old school. I wouldn't own one anyway.
I think some sort of really heavy self-driving improvement might kind of flip my mind.
Oh, well, see, no, man. I'd even
I'd be 100% against the self-driving.
No.
I would never let go of the steering wheel. Never.
Well, honestly...
Yeah.
That ain't happening with Kurt.
Let's do that. Let's get in the car and do that. Let Graham record us while we're driving down.
So a guy calls me, and he's one of these, green protesters, and him and I are friends, and we always agree to disagree. 100% good people. I love him like a brother. But he said, what would it take for you? And I said, real simple for me. 1,000 miles for me to quit looking at the dash to see where I am. And I'm with Will, a couple hours to charge it complete, and a price point at 40,000 or less.
But you also have to factor in the convenience of charging it. So let's say you're going.
Well, yeah, it doesn't matter wherever I go that I'm able to pull up
somewhere, any place, almost like a gas station.
Yeah, and I'm not going to sit for 2 hours, but if they had a quick charge that is not going to, heat that car up loud enough to pop popcorn, I'm
we'll
okay.
Stand back a little bit. Right?
I mean, yeah, you got to put on some goggles and a silver suit and step back because they said, well, let's go from 110 to 220 to 440.
And they're talking about 880.
880, and I'm going,
y'all better stay clear,
man. Juice coming through that line, I'm going, I don't get it.
Blow up right on you.
Yeah, and so, the technology, yes. The fact that, there's nothing coming out of the back end is cool, but, my whole thing is these things don't pollute any less than a ICE car. When you go from the time of manufacturing, what it takes to manufacture and put one together, and an ICE car manufacturing to put one together, which one pollutes more?
The EV.
The EV. And
well, they don't want to look at that.
Are you crazy? There's no fumes coming out of the time out. Hey, you're missing the point.
Yeah, you got to go back to the foundation.
Yeah. When that crane starts turning dirt, which one creates more pollution, short term and long term? No doubt about it. And so here again, it should be we the people. I can't say that enough that Bo and I get to choose for the rest of our lives what we want to drive, where we want to eat, where we want to bank, what we want to do, what we want to see, and the government should have no say-so at all. Should they set up guidelines? Well, yeah, but realistic guidelines to go. But the manufacturers have always been doing that, and Honda was the big startup of going, hey, here's the deal. We want clean. So we're going to build a LEV vehicle, low emissions vehicle. And then they added SU LEV, then USU LEV. And so and everybody started following along. Well, hang on a second here. Not only is Honda building a great automobile, but their pitch to clean the environment is cooking on peanut oil. So let's start. And everybody, even with, you look at GM with their clean clean burning diesels, and it doesn't mean that it's perfectly clean. What they're saying is cleaner than ever before and continue to get cleaner.
Right.
And when you pull it to a diesel, you don't hear that.
No.
They've changed.
And the big blow of black smoke coming out when you take off down the road.
And so I can't say enough. I am one on let the people decide, because if we don't decide, then you don't sell it.
Well, I think the biggest issue we both have, and I know you have, is government funding these cars.
Yeah.
And so what they're doing is pushing these people to, hey, I get this big chunk of money for going and get these cars, but they're not giving me a bunch of money to go buy groceries.
Well, they're doing it when the federal government is broke.
And that too. Well,
I mean, how do you give money away when you don't have any?
they found a way.
Print it. Just print it.
Just makes it more valuable.
Go to the mint, print it.
Yeah.
Call Fort Worth. That's where the big.
I know. Drive by it all the
print
time.
it. Just print it. I'm going. Here's the thing. You do what you can do when you have the resources to do what you can do.
Do what you do when you do.
That's right. It's real simple. But when you don't have the resources and you're continuing to punish the American people with bogus resources, creating more debt, we're not going the right direction.
Well, you brought it up a while ago of what it's really doing to the people that have bought EVs is now they're getting strapped of going like, dude, you're telling me that I owe, $30,000 on this car and you're giving me 10 or 15 or 20?
Yeah.
I mean, they're stuck now because they thought when they got it, they were getting something good by getting these handouts. And now they're finding out, well, you know what? It wasn't so good, was it?
Yep.
So those are the issues that are around this problem. And the other issue is the fact that there's better ways to go, like hybrid. I mean, that's just a better way to go all the way around. And what's the other way? That what they call it with the other way to get it, hybrid, and then the other source of energy,
hydrogen.
1 minute.
Hydrogen. Thank you.
Oh, I got you. I didn't know where you were going.
Well, I was trying to figure out
hydrocell.
Hydrocell. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, and here's the thing: you put something on a shelf without the government having any say-so. You've met the criteria that you're not selling poison or you're not selling pollution, and then let the consumer decide. Should there be regulations on what we should be doing with a forecast of where we should be in the next 25, 30 years? No doubt about it. But make it tangible. And in the meantime, don't start
30 seconds.
backdooring the whole thing with situations that you can't pay for. Because if we write checks we can't cash, we go to jail.
Exactly.
They write checks all the time.
And they get more money each year by whatever.
And it's
they do.
okay. That's why the election's coming up November 3rd. Vote for results, not your attitude, and we'll be okay. 214-787-1190. Quick break. Meet some sponsors. We'll be right back.
Good morning to Gary Coker, my Royal Purple brother, and Kurt Chase's best friend.
That's right. My best buddy, Gary Coker.
Gary says, wake up and pee. The world's on fire. Oh, yeah. Can you imagine charging one of these suckers at $8.80? I can't even imagine that.
Who was it?
Just hitting it with the power of God right there.
No doubt.
I forgot who sent me the article. I think it was my buddy Morris, that one of the NBA players, his electric car was in the garage, caught on fire, and burnt the whole house down.
Well, I'm sure there's more stories like that.
And
how about the ships that were coming over these EVs that were blowing up out there?
Yeah.
There was like 2 or 3 within like a couple of years, right?
Well, here's the thing.
That's never happened maybe before.
When you have the top manufacturer in the world of electric vehicles going, don't go all in.
Tap the brakes. Elon Musk
Stop
said that
what you're
100
doing.
times.
Y'all are just slowly creating a bad situation, and they don't listen to the best. The best. I mean, he's one of the smartest guys around. You look at what he's done with SpaceX. He just got the contract to build something else. I mean, incredible the amount of money that they're paying, and the reason he gave him the contract because he knows what he's doing.
Right,
He knows
exactly.
what he's talking about.
Well, he ended up getting all the contracts for the charging stations
Yeah.
because everybody else was blowing up. And this is the only one that was working.
He bought Twitter and made Twitter what it was supposed to be.
Correct. Exactly.
And he said, hang on, y'all want to talk? That's fine. You want to slander? Not going to happen. But y'all want to voice your opinion?
It's open.
So be it. And so, everybody come after him. He goes, look, all of y'all want censorship. And then, well, we don't want censorship. We want, he goes, that's censorship. I mean, you're not going to corner the guy. And they go, well,
That's kind of funny.
so what do they do? Well, he's got 3 wives and all these kids. So what?
He can
That's
afford
his
it.
choice.
He can afford it.
Doesn't make him, morally. Well, I guess you could talk about moral, but intellect and how smart, what this guy's capable of doing, then leave him alone. Like he thinks patents are BS. I was watching it. He goes, look, you know what patents are for? Patents are for people that are scared. I don't have patents. And they were talking about all these motors and engines and everything. He goes, I don't have a patent on anything in here.
Wow.
He goes, just think if somebody could take what I have and make it better, why not? And the guy goes,
in a lot of ways, you're talking about the patents where people create something,
yeah,
and then the big company comes in, like maybe cars running on water and stuff like that, and they buy that patent, and so they knock the guy right out of the picture. He can't
Yeah.
do anything with it anymore.
Yep.
That's happened many, many
yeah,
times.
he said patents are ridiculous.
Good point.
He said, why would you not
Although
want to come out with a product and then you sell it and somebody buys the patent and does something better with it?
Well, if I created something, I'd get a patent because I'd want to sell it anyway.
Yep. I love the one guy, he goes, he had, his finger like a gun to his head, and he goes, created the water car.
Yeah.
Got the pill that cures cancer.
Yeah.
He went down his list and he goes,
Well, that's
That's
probably
why.
happened.
what do you say that the cancer treatment is a $1 trillion business a year?
I know. So I was part of that.
Like, wow.
There was a lot of money too for mine. So I'm just one little person too. So can you imagine?
See what the bottom of that vehicle looks like?
Yeah. Underneath, is
Yep.
that it?
That's it.
Look at that battery. Is that it
30
reflecting?
seconds.
That's a reflection.
Wow, look at that, Carver.
You don't see the drivetrain. You don't see
No.
anything. You see a casing for the battery. Oh, that's battery.
I wonder if I just took an EMP and just kind of put it off towards one of these cars, they'll ever drive again. I mean, it's a serious concern, right? Like, now that we're getting small-scale cybersecurity attacks, I mean...
Well, Kurt brings that up all the time. The reason why he doesn't want to do self-driving is how they can hack into your car.
Yeah, but they can do that, you can grab a non-electric one, they can do all the same stuff to it.
That's why I want my hands on the wheels.
Another way for the government to control.
But I'm saying that even with the hands on the wheels, you can throw it right off.
214-787-1190 live today. Classic Kia Carrollton. Just go to ClassicKiaCarrollton.com and look at their specials for the last day of the month. This is a great time to take advantage when you look at what Jesse Hull is doing with his EVs. That's going to blow you away. Then you look at the $179 a month lease on the Forte, the $199 a month leases. I mean, there's so many leases, well under $300 a month. Take a look. Or if you want to buy, he's got them. Certified pre-owned, he's got them. A good cornucopia of pre-owned vehicles, he's got them. The place, ClassicKiaCarrollton.com. All right. I'm going to ask you a question because coming up at the bottom of the hour, we're going to have a new segment called Past and Present. But if you could bring back a column gear shift, would you put it on a car?
Yeah, I would. Definitely would.
Would you?
But on a sports car, I'd have to have a shifter on the floor. But yes, definitely. Well, nowadays, I don't even know what they're going to be doing. It's just going crazy.
The one thing I don't like about my truck is the dial for the gears.
You don't like that?
I don't like that either, yeah.
I'm old school.
Well,
I'd have no problem putting my hand up there and pulling that puppy down in the gear.
No, that's greatness right there. But you know what? I drove one of the trucks where the thing didn't even move. It was like motion. You
Yeah.
put your and you push it up to go reverse or pull it down, but it didn't move. It was just the motion of what you were doing. I'm going.
It's called Triptronic.
It was freaking me out.
Yeah. You can actually put your hand on there and just tap it, and it would go into gear.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
going.
And one of the first cars to come out with that was back in the 80s with the Ford Probe.
Oh,
they had the LX and the GT, and you had your Tiptronic, which you could just tap it and bring it into gear.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Just give me the 5-speed back so I
Yeah.
could get down and go. So you would shifter on the column?
I would. I think that I liked it.
Yeah, I
I
did
thought
too.
it was cool. I thought, you look
Lot
right
easier
through the
access.
steering wheel and you put it in gear.
Well, and you also can see easier if it's drive or reverse, because a lot of times way over here, you're not really sure or whatever. So
Well, you're looking in two places. You're always looking down to see where it is, and then your light on the dash
Yeah.
to see where it is. I would love to see the manufacturers. I guarantee you, if they came out with some old school inventory,
I do. That's right.
it would fly off the shelves.
Well, we've talked about that a bunch of times. Simpler models where you had roll down windows and the little, what do you call the little vent window?
Wing window.
Wing window.
Oh, yeah.
Just basic stuff. You have your air.
My mom always turned them the wrong way when she was
She went-
smoking.
Did it out?
No, she turned them in.
Oh, yeah.
And the air would come in while she was smoking.
Yeah, because it was that vent. It was
Yeah, and
like,
all 7 kids in the back seat.
surprised y'all don't all have cancer.
Just roll down the windows. It's 100 degrees. Roll down the windows.
You said that picture I sent you of 7 kids in the back of that station wagon. I thought about you.
I just, I guess where I am in life, I so enjoy the old school stuff coming back.
Yeah.
And people are going, you can't go backwards. I'm going to tell you what, these manufacturers could build whatever they wanted to. If you
No
remember, the Dodge came out with the Magnum. You remember the Magnum? They came out. It was a station wagon that they came out with about 10 years ago, and they had the RT Hemi in it.
Oh, yeah.
And it was an old school looking station
Right.
wagon. That thing came out, and they flew off the shelves. The only thing was where they messed up was putting the SXT, which was the V6 in it. But with that V8 in it, man, that thing was unbelievably cool. And so they can do it, and they can do these short runs. And I always say, come out with some old school retro stuff, bring it. Not only will people come out to buy it, but then you create more traffic on your showroom floor. In the long run, you will win. But coming up at the bottom of the 10 o'clock hour, you're going to be shocked how many cars are going to be gone in 2024. They will no longer be built. I actually had to stop writing. The list was getting so long of cars that are gone. I'm going, boys and girls, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Well, especially in the American muscle realm, because there's just people love those cars.
Yeah.
And with what Dodge is doing, getting rid of those, and I just think it's a huge mistake.
Yeah. No doubt
I
about
do.
it.
I mean, I think they're going to regret it, and then it's going to cost them so much and so much time to bring one back, and I believe they will eventually.
Yeah, let's follow the grocery stores. When something's not selling, it will say being discontinued, half off, buy one, get one free. They know what it takes to move the inventory to get rid of it. And then you go up the register and you see the special sale giveaway stuff. Same thing in the auto industry. When a car wasn't selling, they got rid of it. And then they did some quick runs on a lot of vehicles that did really good. Look at the FJ Cruiser. Look at the S2000. You go on and on and on.
Prelude. It's tons of cars.
Yeah, you can go down the list and go, can you believe how many of these vehicles they didn't do but a short run, sold everything they
And then
had up
stopped.
until the day it was gone, and then stopped and went to the next
I
product.
don't get it. I mean, if you're doing something that's working, why do they do? What's the mindset of that with these manufacturers? What is it?
Here's the deal, and I would just tell you, and I've talked to a couple of people, is, when they come out with the S2000, Honda didn't have a coupe. So they come out with the S2000, sold everything that they get their hands on. They came out in black and red only at first, then the silver, then they added a few whites. Everything was selling. It created so much traffic because the S2000 was the second coming of the Honda Prelude.
Right.
And it wasn't a replacement Prelude. It was its own identity sports car. And the traffic, the uptick in traffic that it brought, okay, you don't have a Honda Prelude, what do you have? And then Honda started coming out with their SI series, and they were going, well, hang on a second, wow, this is pretty cool. This vehicle is only this much money. We have the SI with all the blah, blah, blah on the vehicle.
Right.
This is really cool. And so they created those situations, and they came out with, the coupe, and then the V6 coupe, and then the Solara, probably one of the best backseat convertibles around. And then they come out with the V6 convertible. And so it's like Honda has done things in stages. You look at their Passport. It was a Suzu. They kept the line. They brought it back in, and there were so many people. I owned a Passport. And so as you look at these manufacturers and some of the really coolness that they're bringing back, I think it's a win-win. I'm telling you, you and I have talked about it before. You bring back the El Camino. You have a run of Grand Nationals. You have a run of Cutlass. Bring back what a Firebird, Trans Am. Because GM can do that. Even though Pontiac's not around and Oldsmobile's not around, you can still bring out this nostalgic nameplate as still a GM product, and it would be off the hook. I'm telling you, if the pickup trucks came out with a step side for a short amount of run, they'd sell them all.
Yes, they would.
And so that's where they're sitting in these ivory towers and not communicating, but coming up with, just blows my mind. Take it to the people, and we just don't see that. New, improved, the greatest, ShamWow, not my deal. Let's hear what the people say and what the people want, because the technology
is it just overthinking it? Is that basically is where you just have to feel like that? Oh, we just always got to be doing something that is taking it to the next level, because that manufacturer over here is going to be doing the same thing. So we got to be a step above them or try to hang in there with them, and just chill out. Get in that canoe.
They come out with a lot of Scooby-Doo products.
Yeah,
you know what that is?
Well, it's
when Scooby-Doo would go, what?
Yeah, exactly.
What? Shaggy, what? I don't...
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, I don't understand some of the stuff that they come out with thinking it's going to sell. And there's a list of cars, a half a dozen that I look and go, what did you do? And lo and behold, nobody's buying them. And next thing you know, what does this manufacturer got to do? Not only did it cost millions and millions of dollars to build it, retool, redye, and design that specific run, now they have to come out with major rebates and incentives, and it failed. Come out with a product that we know is going to sell. Could you imagine if Buick came out with a 442?
Oh,
everybody would be flocking to the Buick showroom floors.
No doubt.
But they don't get it. They're just like, well, it's too expensive. Time out. Let's look at the money and the incentives you're putting out to get rid of the stuff that's not working. 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. There's a show in Tallahassee, Florida that will change Camaros and Firebirds and GTOs.
That's good for them.
There we go. 214-787-1190. Let's take a quick break. When we get back, it's past and present here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show on 1190 KFXR, part of the iHeartMedia Network. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
What's that? And thanks everybody for being a part of our broadcast today. And we've been left alone. The great Kurt Chase is taking a little walk.
Listen here, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. There's only one reality in this world, and that's when Mr. Chase leaves this table. These lips are going to run, baby. They're going to start talking.
There it is.
There could be 0 people here. There could be 5,000 in a group in front of me. I'm still going to sit here and talk to whoever's there to listen, I guess. I mean, I just wonder.
Good morning, Bill Gregory. Good to see you.
Just get the good mornings in, because, Mr. Chase, he's a car guy. He gets lost in the car talk. Let's get down, nitty-gritty, real world stuff.
Well, we're trying to. We're working on it. Is it getting cloudy out there? Is there some?
Yeah, see, let's talk about this real world stuff. It's cloudy outside.
Is that reality, or is that
the reality?
Illusion?
That's what we're working with.
Is that an illusion?
Well, I really don't know. I really couldn't tell. It's like, it almost seems like it might be the windows, but I know it's not. It's definitely not sunny.
It looks cloudy.
It is,
Kind of
yeah.
cloudy. Is it cloudy or is it just me with the window? Look a little cloudy. Yeah, cool. I got you.
See, my dad's the only man above the age of 14 years old that will ask another man
If it's
for
cloudy.
the weather that he's also looking at right next to him.
Well, I just want to make sure it's not just my illusion that it's maybe have some fact in there.
You could have said, "Hey, Graham, take a step out," instead of being like, "All right."
Well, I didn't want you to have to move.
So,
You're too comfortable over there. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, we're having a good time here today. Classic Kia Carrollton in Carrollton, Texas. Frankfurt in 35E in Carrollton, Texas. So come by and say hi to let Kurt Chase sign you your autograph. So Bill Gregory said he had a 69 Dodge Dart 383 GTS. That was an awesome car. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
Was that awesome?
I just think that smaller car with all that in it.
I loved that Dodge Dart back in that day. In fact, I almost bought one,
Yeah.
but my dad wouldn't let me because he thought it was too much car.
Oh,
He
yeah.
probably was right. So I ended up with a 65 Volkswagen.
Yep. I had the Buick 442, but it wasn't the old 442. It was the Electra 442, but still, what a beast for that size car.
Well, it's people are going to regret, these manufacturers are going to regret not keeping these muscle cars because they sell.
Yep.
People want them. And they don't care. They're going to go out of their way to get them. So we'll see how it all plans out. So Gary Coker says, how about the story of the guy that invented a carburetor that would have increased miles per gallon by 4 times, sold it to a major manufacturer, and they locked it up in the vault? True or not? Have you heard that before?
I have not heard that, but I have heard about all the different products that were invented, and a company came in and bought it and scrapped it.
Well, we know of a lot of those things that's happened from medical side to
Everything that
Just-
will produce better and shorter and you need less of,
and
they have gotten rid of.
and you can't get rich off of it, or if they can keep the thing that's already bringing in the big bucks going, they don't want to do that.
That's right. Nobody liked, long-term products except for one company. If you remember their ads when they came out, remember the Maytag man?
Oh yeah,
He was always asleep,
it was a great.
where he had his elbow out and he was leaned on his desk.
He never worked on
The
a
phone would ring and he goes, wrong number. He
was all like
because they said, Maytag doesn't break down.
Right.
Maytag man didn't have anything to
and
do.
they were good.
And so they were the only ones that really come out. And, you heard about reliable, durable, and everything else, but nobody wants to build the perfect product because then they have no returns.
Well, you've kind of talked about that a little bit about the automobile business to where the cars are really stronger now, and that's caused the increase of the price of getting one fixed because there's less people having to get their vehicles
15
fixed.
seconds.
So they're having to charge more for getting one done, correct?
Yep.
So that's part of the reason why it costs a little more in the mechanic side when you go take one in to get one serviced, is because
We would like to take this time to say thank you for flying with us today here on the AutomotiveEdge.com Flight 101. Please extinguish all cigarettes and cigars. Place your seats in the upright position and fasten your seatbelt.
Do they
Please
just smoke
do
cigarettes
not
and
try to
cigars?
exit through the exit door.
yes,
3,
that's what's so funny.
1.
Who green-lighted that?
Warning. The information heard here on the Automotive Edge radio show may lead you to find a wealth of knowledge that could possibly save you time and money. If any of this information causes you to be bothered or upset, please sit back, relax, take a deep breath, and seek immediate help. Now, here's your host of the Automotive Edge radio show, Kurt Chase.
214-787-1190 is the number. If you have an automotive need, you need me to help you with making the best purchase with the right people, selling your car, parts, service, or body shop, doesn't matter. whatever you need someone to look at your credit and go, hey, what can I do with this? Before you go to the dealership and throw yourself at the mercy of the court, don't do it. Go to theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt, send me your information, and we will help. It's just that simple. Go to theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt. You can leave me your name and number. I'll call you right when I get off air and make sure your automotive needs are taken care of. One of the great places to help you with your automotive needs today, if it's an Acura, it's highly Acura Fort Worth. My buddy David Gomez, he got it going on, whether it's RDX, MDX, the Integra, the TLX, whether it's an A-Spec, and now, I'm telling you, go out and drive their new electric SUV. I spent time, the ZDX, driving it with David, and he told me to get on it, and he was not blinking how fast I was driving that vehicle. I was shocked what that product would do for that size of a vehicle. All the room, all the acceleration, all the technology. If it's electrification, make it highly Acura Fort Worth. As for David Gomez, let him know that you're listening to the Automotive Edge radio show and enjoy your time shopping and spending time the right way for the best luxury sports vehicle out there. I combine both into one, but the place, highlyacurafortworth.com.
Let's tell them where they can find us, too. Of course, you're listening to us on the radio. It's Talk Radio 1190. We're here every Saturday morning from 8 to noon. But we're also on some social media sites, audio and video. On Facebook, you can go to the Automotive Edge Facebook page, find us there, or our sister Facebook page, Shifting Gears. We're broadcasting there. Also on LinkedIn, which is a new added service there. It's under Kurt Chase, though. So go to LinkedIn, search Kurt Chase. You'll see us there. And on YouTube, go to youtube.com and then search the Automotive Edge Radio Show. Or just go to YouTube and then search it that way. So a lot of ways to find us. And we got a lot of people tuned in today, so it's great.
Our new segment, Past to Present. You have your list?
I got it.
All right. You want to do the first one or you want me to do the first one?
I'll do the first one.
Okay. Give me one of the past.
So something to bring back.
Yep.
Okay, bring it back. First thing I have on my list is I want to bring back my Nanny Ruth Perkins Carver.
Yeah?
I want to bring her back.
Wow.
She's the most precious lady that I've ever known in my life. And I'm sure the only one better than her is probably Mary, the mother of Jesus. But I would love for Graham, my son, to know her. She was just the best of the best. So that's one of them.
All right. My one would bring back the old TV shows where there's no violence and bad language.
Now, that's a great one right there.
You know,
that's what I watch a lot.
And my
Andy
son said,
Griffith.
what about the Westerns and everything else? Well, you know what? You saw the Western, but you didn't see them where they blew their head off and their blood and guts off. They just fell down and, the little pop cap opened up a little place on their shirt or whatever. But
there was a lot of others that what Graham calls gray shows. We used to call them black and white.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of great ones like that I agree.
What do you have for your next one?
Discipline in schools.
Nice.
I mean, it's so far removed from what it was back in the day that it's why I believe we have so many problems in our schools. Is that right there? Yep. Discipline.
My number 2 is bring back the shopping malls. I love going to the mall.
Yeah,
and it wasn't, a lot of them go now because, they want to hang out and flirt with girls and hold hands and walk around the mall. I enjoyed it because Buzzy Murphy's father used to sit out there and wail on them pianos and organs.
Well, then in Christmas time, they had a lot of carols and a lot of people singing. And
they had a place called Swiss Colony, and you could go by there and try all their cheeses and meats, and they had all that hard candy that was called booze candy. What did you do? I had a margarita today. Here you are, a kid. There was no booze in it, but, I enjoyed going to the mall. They had so many places, and back then,
it was also great, too, because it didn't matter the weather.
Well, you had salespeople back then.
Yes.
Welcome to wherever. How can we show you around? I just loved it.
Back in that day, we did. In fact, I worked for Dillard's, and I was I worked in the shoe department, and we were service. I mean, you walk in.
My best salesman, Tom Gaines, was a shoe salesman. He was my best car salesman.
We would size you up. We would help you out. We would offered different ideas about the shoes, what we knew about the product. It's similar to what you're talking about with the vehicles. I mean, this shoe has been known to be better because of this, and this. That's a little price point difference, but you make the decision. And it was one of my better times of being in a work situation was being a shoe salesman at Dillard's.
What's your number 3 on the past?
Bring back strong security on the border.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's present.
No, we ain't getting it yet.
Well, don't you argue that it's probably stronger right now, technically? It's just being fought back against more?
Well, it's open borders.
No, back in the day, nobody did it.
No.
You didn't have what happened. People just didn't walk across the border. Everybody went through the channels. You didn't have what you have it now.
Right.
But, I mean, like, I guess this is ignorance, not arguing. Didn't coyotes just do the same thing they do
there was
today?
no coyotes
really?
back then. No, you just didn't have that. You didn't have all the drug problems and everything back then. You went through.
It was hardcore.
You went through the terminal and checked in. Real simple. They didn't have the problem having that.
The borders was tight.
Mine is family dinners. I remember every day it was dinner at 5:30, whether it was Saturday or Sunday, unless you were playing sports. We had 5:30 dinner. I would have changed it because my dad wanted a quiet dinner with 7 kids, a little bit tough. But I miss family dinners. I miss the family gatherings around the table with my boys.
Yeah.
When the 3 boys would sit down and, actually last Sunday, we celebrated Father's Day because I was out of town on Father's Day, and having my 4 kiddos, my 3 boys and my daughter, was one of the best days I've had since last Father's Day.
Brought you back some good old
memories.
memories.
We're all sitting around, and everybody except for me was in the kitchen, laid out. Everybody was making sandwiches and chips and dip and laughing and joking and telling stories. We had the disco music playing out at the pool. My best day. Family dinners I would bring back. All right, let's flip to present.
Okay. Let me go there.
Here, I'll go first.
All right.
Present. Get rid of social media, only able to access for business history, no personal posts.
I don't have a problem with that.
There is so much suicide and hurt and pain and suffering because of what people say about other people.
And phoniness too.
And all the lies just for self-gain, all the persecution because of where you are personally. I wish all of that the second you posted, if it was derogatory towards someone, it would be automatically deleted. It would never hit the internet.
I agree. Good point. I like it. Mine is to get rid of President Biden as president.
No big surprise there.
Well, that's just one of them right there.
My second would be get rid of telemarketing.
1 minute.
I'm going to tell you, telemarketing drives me nuts.
Okay, mine is obscenity and vulgar language in movies.
Yeah.
That's out of hand. It's just got completely out of hand. They don't need it.
My third, get rid of all this processed food that we're not being told about.
We can talk about that forever. And making food, printing it on a 3D printer. Yeah, that's outrageous.
Now spraying it with Glee to make it last longer.
That's crazy. And then painting it red.
Yeah.
And then that's where we have to take a break is all taxes on the elderly.
I like that. Once you hit
seconds.
whatever age, it's over.
Yeah, you don't. People
Beautiful.
lose their homes and everything.
That's my favorite one.
All right, good.
Great. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. It's the Automotive Ed Radio Show. We'll be right back.
I couldn't believe what you sent me about those potatoes and then painting them red because people buy
You know who's
red.
behind that?
I don't know. Probably Bill Gates.
Bill Gates. It's a product called Glee, and they spray it, and it's got metals, arsenic,
of course,
all these crazy things in there. And the guy goes, but it's such minute amounts to keep the vegetables fresher longer.
Yeah. Yeah, arsenic is not part of the ones I expect to take every morning when I'm eating a potato.
Yep, but I figure you like it when you saw the 3D printing of a steak. And it tastes just like a steak.
Well, have you heard about that, Graham?
Yeah, we talked about that one other episode.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about
that. And now
that.
let's just spray the fruit whatever color it's supposed to be.
This sells the most. If it's blue,
so it'll last longer.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking garden time here in the future for the Carver crib. That's getting ridiculous.
Well, even, I mean, I don't know if the gardening is actually going to get you anything closer to real healthy food.
because maybe the ground's too.
Well, the ground and the genetics of the plants. I mean, watermelons, bananas, cucumbers, every plant you could ever name. The list goes on and on.
Has been generated.
It's all genetically engineered. It's not GMOs, it's GEOs. They are genetically engineered organisms that do not look like the natural relatives that they
And
have.
then they talk about fish, where they say they recommend don't eat fish more than twice a week because of the mercury that's in them
I mean, just think of the fish farms.
and the fish farms.
Well, if you see
Have you been to a fish farm?
have you seen
Where you
it?
pay so much, you get to go in and catch so much and leave with it?
Oh no, I've seen
It's
it.
nuts.
I
It's nuts. Not my deal.
Yeah, they're right, and they're just begging to be caught because they're feeding them every second.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are we going to do? We're going to be getting somebody. We need somebody to package our foods up like they did when we went to space.
Yeah, just
Tang.
think.
Remember Tang?
They asked Bill Gates, all this land that you're tilling up and doing this, what do you think about planting trees? He goes, I wouldn't plant another tree.
Oh, let's just suck the oxygen right out of the plant.
And when you look at the pollution, what comes out and what the plants absorb to live and how they help filter the bad,
Yes.
you're going, just like the guy that did that analysis in Canada. He goes, how many trees does it take to extract this in the air? He said, well, 100 million trees. He goes, you know how many trees are in Canada? He said, almost 1 billion trees. He said, so we have zero net carbon. And so we have the, what's his name in Canada?
Trudeau,
Pushing this, his agenda on the Green New Deal, and it's just destroying people
Yep.
financially. And I'm going, it's a hoax. And the guy goes, they talked about the pollution prior to over the last 1,000,000 years, 1,000 years, 100 years, and it's actually still better now, the ozone, than it was back then. Remember the black hole theory? And the black hole was going to get bigger?
Yeah.
Well, we hadn't found that black hole in a long time.
Isn't that where the Bermuda Triangle's supposed to have right there? And that's where all the planes have been sucked up and stuff?
Well, no, this was in the atmosphere that they
yeah,
found
you're
this.
talking about the ozone layer.
Yeah,
right?
and it was this hole that all of a sudden started appearing. Now all of a sudden it's gone. What happened to that?
It's amazing how nature kind of takes care of things. And
The guy
God,
goes, they sent a rocket ship up there and plugged the hole.
yeah, God's in charge, people. Don't forget that. I guarantee it.
Yeah. I just,
It's amazing to me how people think that they can change things that are godly done.
well, it's
the
the
old Mother
minority,
Nature-
a few people that create a huge problem that the masses get
30
punished
seconds.
Yeah.
Now, one person in Congress, when they had all these hearings, could answer Judge Kennedy from Louisiana. Not one of them.
No.
And then I like the one she was, when it gets down to where this lady wanted to become a judge, he said, they asked her, what's the definition of a woman? She goes, I don't know. Well, how are you going to decide those cases? Well, I don't know. Until I get the cases, I don't know. Is there a difference between a man and a woman? She goes, well, I don't know. I'm like, wow, okay. So you understand where society's going
Right.
with the least amount of people, because we don't buy into that crap. I never have. 214-787-1190. It's the Automotive Edge Radio Show today, live. Classic Kia Carrollton. Come on out the deals. I don't know how much better Jesse Hull, the managing partner here, can make the deals at Classic Kia Carrollton. Go to ClassicKiaCarrollton.com. This segment of the show is brought to you by Burleson Nissan. I was just down there with Justin Grain taking a look at the Nissan Sentra RS and was blown away after looking at the Altima S and the Sentra RS. I was going, boy, what a decision to make here. Yeah, it's a little bit bigger car, but I'm looking at amenities and dollar for dollar. I'm going, boy, you talking about getting confused on trying to figure out what you want. But he's got a whole lot more. The Armada, the Pathfinder, the Frontier, and then it comes down to Justin Crane, the way he runs that store. And I don't think anybody has more fun on a showroom floor with his employees than when you're hanging out with Justin Crane at Burleson Nissan. 35 in Renfro Road. The lot is full and needs to go. And even though the CDK problem is going, he's still rocking and moving inventory. Stop there, 35 in Renfro Road. Massive discounts and incentives. They need to move inventory, just like everybody else. Start them online at burlesonnissan.com. That's burlesonnissan.com. Let Justin Crane know you're listening to the Automotive Edge Radio Show and get you 3 free years of maintenance at burlesonnissan.com. So, J.D. Powers just released the best ranked cars to the most problematic cars.
Now, explain J.D. Powers.
J.D. Powers is what everybody believes they go to find out everything
Data.
from cars to appliances to, you got Consumer Reports, J.D. Powers.
Okay, I got it.
There's a bunch of them out here. But here's the thing. The latest study was based on roughly 99,144. We'll say 100,000 buyers of new 2024 models were surveyed after 90 days of ownership. Okay? And in that ownership, the data that people sent to them from the surveys was published. And so here's the numbers that always throws everybody off. Problems per 100 vehicles built is the mark. Problems per 100 built. Well, Ram was number one, and there was 149 problems per 100 built. And you're going, wait a minute here. That's more problems than vehicles built. And when people read this and they call me and go, what's going on with these vehicles? You're going, when you go to the bottom, here's the tough one. 316 problems per 100 built. Now, you would go, run.
What vehicle was that?
Run. It's the Polestar.
Oh, okay.
The all-electric vehicle. You're going, would you ever own a Polestar because of 361 problem per 100 built? When you look at what people are sending into these survey companies, and I'm being plural, I've looked at the surveys and I've looked at the complaints from the consumers. A lot of the problems are not problems with the car, it's problems with the consumer.
Yeah.
Why? Well, if this thing wasn't done right at delivery, that's a problem. Let's say that they complain because there wasn't mats on the car. That's a problem.
Or
what if they
spare
complain
tire.
of spare tire?
Right.
That's a problem. What if the car wasn't made ready at delivery? That's a problem. What if they didn't understand the technical products on the vehicle?
Right.
That's a problem. The number one problem, biggest complaint was
Spare tire.
infotainment.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't get it.
Yeah. Well, that's
Too many buttons, too many choices, too many things to select from, and that becomes a problem. It's not a problem. That's called a user problem, not a mechanical, not a technical. So Ram ranked number one in quality, number two Chevrolet, number three Hyundai, number four Kia, then Buick, Nissan, Porsche, Lexus, Ford, Honda, Mini, Subaru, Genesis, on and on and on. And when we get back, we're going to talk about some of the things that consumers are saying about cars, your thoughts and more here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show on 1190 KFXR, part of the iHeartMedia Network. I'm Kurt Chase, the great one, Big Wheels Bo Carver, Marabou B. Lamar, Carver next to us, Maddie back in studio. Quick break. We'll be right back.
I got to change your name.
Yeah, right. Submit the change form today.
Mirabeau B. Lamar Carver. I should have named you that way. I like it.
You think so?
Except it's Mirabeau. Oh, it's funny. I don't know, man. I tell you, there's so much stuff out here that you just make your head turn like Linda Blair in The Exorcist. Did you ever see that movie?
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, it's amazing when you see that
Scared the bejeebers out of me when I first saw it.
teachers are being reprimanded because the kids are answering with barks and meows. And I saw the interview with the mother, and they said she has twins and they're 5 years old. And she said, well, their whole life they've identified as non-binary. And he goes,
What does that mean?
They're not nothing. They have no title.
You just kind
They're
of
not male, female,
just
sheep, dog, cat.
just
They're
nothing.
just
I'm a nothing.
Yeah.
So how do you address them? Is it
Is
nothing?
that
Is
whatever they're
that.
doing? And so they said, so they learned this on their own. And she goes, what do you mean? She goes, this had to be taught. And what's his name? The guy from England, talk show host.
I know, but I can't call his
Great
name.
guy.
Right.
I mean, he's just a meeting. And I'm trying to think. Anyway, his name will come to me. And he said, so what do you, and she goes, well, I'm non-binary. I'm this, that, or other, whatever she said. And he goes, you would have had to teach the kids this. This was taught. They
Right.
didn't learn this on their own.
No.
As a baby, they did not read, study, or learn what non-binary is. And
Correct.
Pierce Morgan.
Yes.
And she said, well, he goes, you had to instill this, that your kids are dogs or cat, or they can be whatever they want to be. And then once they decided, you implemented that into their
Right.
lives. And she said, well, I hear what you're saying. He goes, no. This is what you did. Right. And you listened to it. And so there was a teacher that was reprimanded because when the kid meowed or barked or whatever they did, she didn't accept it as an answer. And the kid went to their mom and dad and said, hey, they're not accepting
What I
the
wanna
fact that
be.
I'm an animal. I'm like, wow. This is where I don't know how you even start to handle that. But
Well, one way I can handle it is that we've brought God out of everything in our society, starting with the schools and our families, and just everything's gotten so crazy that I don't even comprehend how people can even think that that's even remotely right what you're doing to your kids.
because you're a wackadoodle-doo, you want to pose that on your children,
Right.
and have them disturb society because you're disturbed.
And I don't get why that's not even a problem in being a criminal case of child neglect or abuse. Why do they not do that?
It's because they don't want to. They just don't want to deal with it.
Upset the apple cart.
The thing is that you're right. Once they started kicking God out of the schools, and not doing the Pledge of Allegiance or having prayer, even in Congress, because Congress started, where all the real wackadoodle doos that were brought in, going, no, we don't need to do this. We don't need to be part of it. We don't need, you know what? That's the way the forefathers founded this country. If you don't like it, don't run.
Well, here's
don't
the thing.
run.
You can,
because you think about all the ones that were against it. Look at the crap that they're imposing on the American people.
Well, I was going to say, when you see the conditioning of our society and our country versus the way it was then during those times, it's night and day. Now, you may like it or not like it or for it or against it, but just look at the difference. Look where we're at versus back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obscene.
Yep. We stood in class. We said the Pledge of Allegiance.
We had respect. We had discipline, and that was one of the things I said a while ago about bringing back is discipline in the schools, because these kids are getting away with really literally murder in some of these schools nowadays.
Well, one of my friends says, you'd bring back paddling. Here's the deal. I'd bring mom and dad up to the school and hand them a paddle.
I like that idea.
Here's the deal. If you're not going to correct it at home, you're going to correct it here, or we're going to suspend your kid.
Good point.
You got a choice. You can start taking care of this before they get to school and understand what respect and manners mean, or we're going to suspend them. Then you can take care of them at home. You can miss work, miss your pay, probably get fired because you're not taking care of this problem at home. And, one of my buddies made a great point at a meeting. Teachers not here to raise your children. They're here to educate your children.
Exactly.
And so many parents drop them off and go, here, make my kid right.
Well, and then if you try...
But kick God out of the school. Don't bring God in the whole thing. Just make my kid right.
But even if you try to make a kid right, they don't like it. So they raise hell about that. But I remember getting 3 licks one time for chewing gum in class, and I never did it again.
Mm-mm.
And I ain't going out shooting up people or killing them because of it. there is a way to make your point with discipline to where we need that back. Did you ever any licks ever?
Yeah. Yes, I did. I got them from Mr. Stallenworth, elementary principal, Mr. Peeler, elementary principal, Jerry Wynn, who he hit me one time, and I just turned around and said, call my dad.
You don't.
I don't care. My dad can beat me till kingdom come. You're not hitting me again.
He hits so
He
hard.
went out in the hallway. I could hear him out there laughing. Him and Mr. Singley. He goes, yeah, I kind of lifted him up that time, and he caught me right between the top of my legs and my butt cheek. Oh, my God. And then Coach Dacus, who was this mammoth of a man, I saw him hit the meanest guy in school. His name was Lonnie Jenkins. He lifted him up on the desk. He hit him, and I just sat on the floor. He goes, get up. I said, no, call my parents. And he grabbed me by the back of my neck. I said, call my parents. My dad get up, and he saw the marks on my neck and saw Lonnie's dad come in, and my dad saw, he's like, are you people nuts? And we had a...
well, I guess that's the problem. That's why it gets overbearing with people. But
some of them got a little out of hand, but you knew either you're going to get it from mom or dad, you're going to get it from the principal.
Somebody.
But I think the accountability, they had that deal where, they're bringing the parents into court and trying to hold them accountable. Parents didn't care. They always pointed the finger and blamed it on somebody else. But here's the deal. You can give your kid a couple of licks, or you can come sit in detention with your kid for 3 days after school, or you can start correcting this at home. Which one do you want?
Wesley Stewart said, I got whacked in school for kissing my girlfriend.
You know what they call that? Now they call it PDA.
Which is what?
Public display of affection.
Oh, that's
and
not
if you do
acceptable.
You get
Trouble.
written up,
All right.
then you're in trouble, and then you get suspended for PDA.
Hello, this is
Cindy.
Robert
Oh,
speaking.
Cindy.
Taxiing out to the runway and
In first grade.
I don't see any turbulence, and we should arrive at our
Golly, you
destination,
bad girl.
safely and on time. Thank you for choosing the Automotive Edge Airway.
Mr. Higginbotham. Remember those great names when we were younger?
Are you ready for the show? I said, are you ready for the show? Ladies and gentlemen, the show you've all been waiting for. Please make welcome Kurt Chase and the Automotive Edge.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. This segment show brought to you by Freeman Toyota, located on the affordable side of the Metroplex. They have pretty much everything in stock. The only thing they're lagging behind is what everybody's wanting now when it comes to the Toyota lineup, and that is the Grand Highlander. Everything else is coming in the pipeline. They right now are ordering from the consumers the Highlander, Grand Highlander, but pretty much everything else is in stock. And I will tell you today, if you're looking for a Toyota Tundra, Freeman Toyota has from one end of the gate to the other side of Tundras ready for delivery. And BJ Stankovic, General Sales Manager, Jerry Patterson, who is back in the saddle, and we're so glad to see that he's back and healthy and doing well, are moving iron today. And the reason I call it the affordable side of the Metroplex, because the discounts, and here's the thing, go to freemantoyota.com and look at the additional warranties and service they're putting on the car above Toyota Care at no charge, just for buying at Freeman Toyota. Find them online all the time at freemantoyota.com. That's freemantoyota.com. So here's the reasons why, whenever this report comes out, a bunch of people call me. One of my buddies called me and said, hey, I was thinking of buying a Volkswagen, and it says 241 problems per car per 100. And I'm like, you know what? You just got to read through all that. So here's some of the things they say. It says false warning from driver assist technology and other systems were among the leading headaches for owners.
Now, what do they mean by that? What does that mean?
Okay, so that all the different monitors and stuff that may or may not have worked really just bug people. When you look at the way they false warnings from driver assist technology, that would come up and say, you need this, you need that, or your lane assist. Maybe you weren't really on the city titties, but your alarm went off.
Right.
And so they're just saying all the different warnings and things were coming out, and a lot of this just needs to be reset with software.
Right.
A lot of it they can download. My car, they could download it from wherever you
You're
were.
in the parking, yeah.
Yeah, I would park the car and they says, hey, we're updating your software. My car never left the garage. They said,
Right.
just don't start it for the next whatever time, and it would work. It said, here's one that blew me away. You have to be the laziest person I've ever known in my life if you're relying on the car to tell you whether you got a kid in the back seat or not. And they said,
And that was one of them.
owners reported rear seat reminder feature, which is supposed to alert the drivers to a child or a pet in the back seat when vehicle is turned off, sometimes activated when there was no one there. Just drove them nuts. I'm like, you know what? Having to have a reminder that your kid is in the car or your pet blows me away. And you know what? Here's the thing. It's not the driver's fault. It's the manufacturer.
Well, then, see, that's what it leads to.
It was the manufacturer who put the kid in the back seat, showed up to your house, took your child and put it in the back seat and didn't tell you. And then you leave the house not knowing there's a kid in the back seat, but then you get somewhere and realize, oh, my gosh, there's a kid in the back seat. Really?
Well, see, what it leads to is the driver or the parent not taking the responsibility. So once they've added this and something malfunctions and a kid dies in the car, guess who's going to get sued?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Well, you remember that.
And I doubt they even do anything to the parent or the guardian or whoever, because used to there was criminal activities because they would search that out a lot. Because believe this or not, there were a lot of people intentionally doing that to their kids. And it's hard to believe, but they were. They found that out.
Well, there was a lady that had a Cadillac Escalade, and God bless the family, lost a child because she ran over the child. She went right after the manufacturer. You should have backup cameras. You should have had no. You ought to pay attention to what you're doing. Put that stupid cell phone down.
Correct.
And make sure. My mom had 7 kids, and none of us got run over. Our bike did, but
That's because she asked you to move it, and she did it on purpose.
yeah. It said advanced driver assistance systems are irritating vehicle owners with inaccurate rear cross traffic warnings, and automatic Android and Apple CarPlay hiccups remain among the top 10 problems. Owners often having difficulty connecting to the vehicle for the first time or experience lost connections, according to the study. More than half the Apple device users, 42%, and Samsung users say that connectivity features every time they drive. That customers want their smartphone experience through the into the vehicles and also desire the feature to be integrated wirelessly. Those problems, which I'm big pro on, don't have that stupid cell phone in your hand while you're driving.
Exactly.
Don't be texting while you're driving. The other day, actually yesterday, I had to go to the cleaners and get a few things done, and I said, Kurt, count how many people are on their cell phones. And guess what? I pulled up the light, and I'm going by there, and 100% of the people were on their cell phones.
Wow.
100%.
It's doing something.
Even this poor, sweet, elderly lady, I have no idea how old she was, but the second I pulled up next to her, she stopped, looked down, reached up, picked up her phone, and started touching it. And I went, why? Why are these cell phones life-changing experiences acceptable? I don't get it. It said, J.D. Power said controls and displays amounted to the second most problematic categories, slightly better than the notorious issue-prone infotainment category. The features category was especially troublesome for EVs, and basically all the information on these screens. The screens have gotten so big now, and all the data and everything that's on these screens, they said it's very confusing and distracting. I'm going, here's the thing. A lot of this stuff is opinion. The problem with the connectivity of your cell phones is a big problem. A lot of times, I've talked to service people all over the DFW area, and a lot of people they don't know how to install it properly. They always blame it on the phone or whatever the case may be. They don't know how to install it. And the other problem is they're trying to do it while they're driving.
Well, some of the cars won't let you do it.
That's right. And it won't accept it. And they're going, wait a minute here, pull over.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that people don't want to slow down and learn. And the other thing, too, is in the delivery process of the cars, people don't like delivery process. They want to get their car home or on the road or go somewhere. And in the meantime, they're punishing the surveys by going, it didn't work. It didn't. No, slow down. Slow down. You know what? When we didn't have this kind of technology, and I've done the research, we had less wrecks. There was less death on the road. People were paying attention. They had their hands on the steering wheel, or they had one hand on the steering wheel and their other arm around their wife or girlfriend or kiddo while they were driving. The distractiveness might have been telling jokes back and forth.
We're trying to eat a burger and a fries.
Yeah, eating a burger while you're driving. You know?
Well, I was going to say that with what you just read, to me, there's a big fix. Stop with all this crazy electronic stuff. Go back to simpler type of vehicles like we talked about. Just go back to the nuts and bolts of what a car's supposed to do, and you eliminate all that headache.
Yeah, take all the crap out where you just plug your phone in, where it's hands-free, and drive.
Exactly.
They said the other thing, too, was the smell of the cars, that the chemicals were overpowering, that they're no longer new car smells or chemically smelling cars, and that the vents, the cabin filtration system smelled moldy. And that, I've never bought a new car that smelled moldy, but, you know, anyway, as each one of these are plugged in, they become problems per 100. And if you were to go down this list and you look at Toyota, one of the best products out there, 192 problems per 100 built. You'd go, my gosh, 2 out of 1's a bad car. Mm-hmm. You have to really dig into what they're saying.
Well, you also have to take into consideration how people are and what they do, because it's similar to when they do surveys and they ask you, did you like your salesperson or whatever, and they go like, well, I gave him an 8 because I don't give nobody a 10. Or, you know what I'm saying? They have attitudes about surveys, and they either become more aggressive about them and say, you know, something that most people would go like, well, that's not really a problem. They make it a big problem to throw it into a survey because they feel powerful doing that. Don't you think that comes into play?
It does. And then you have some basic stuff here that said features category was especially troublesome for EVs. J.D. Power said, with issues involving seemingly simple functions like windshield wipers and rearview mirrors to more intricate operations of the OEM smartphone applications. So take it for a grain of salt. What I really like is how many people they subscribe to J.D. Powers, which, you know, they give you great information. I have no problem with J.D. Powers. I'm not against J.D. Powers. What I'm saying is when you accumulate how much of this stuff is actually user-friendly, when I see all the surveys and I hear a lot of the salespeople complaining they didn't get their bonuses, and it's because of how they scored the survey. And there's been numerous people where I've called to go, hey, could you tell me about how you felt about the vehicle? And you know what? It's all emotion. A lot of it is emotion or not understanding of. And so the dealer gets punished, the salesperson gets punished, and then it gets reported as a problem, and it's really not a problem.
Did you, when you did your survey on your truck and you didn't know how to open the back window, did you put that down?
Perfect. You know what? Every survey I get, I score the salesperson perfect. Well, actually, it says completely satisfied.
Right. Not perfect.
And then if there's some notes I want to make, there's a box that says, hey, is there any comments you'd like to make? And then I type that in. But I always get them very satisfied because salespeople's pay plans or bonuses are given on surveys.
Yes, they are.
And, you know, you have a new salesperson. What do they do? Oh, let's just punish them. No, don't punish them. Give them very satisfied and then make your comments, because the dealer's going to see this. Hey, I gave you completely satisfied, but here's some things you might want to work on. Quit being mean. Stop being mean. 214-787-1190. Let's take a quick break. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
She packed my bags.
Charles Davis says you would be amazed at how many truck drivers are on the phone and cruising down the road talking and watching a show on their phone. It's really a scary thing, and I've seen so many wrecks that was caused because of them not paying attention to their jobs. There's a lot of truck wrecks out there. I know that. So he's right. In fact, I did a little research on that.
I have noticed that more than ever before, how many truckers are on their phone in the fast lane just chatting away.
Yeah.
And you pull up and you honk or whatever, they look over, just shoot you the finger. Stay on their cell phone. They know you ain't going to do anything with that little car next to that big old truck.
Yeah, they'll just run you right over
They
and
don't
keep
care.
on going, keep talking. Well, it's crazy out there. People just feel invincible out there on these roads with these powerful vehicles.
Yeah. They don't care. They're in their own world, driving the way they want. It doesn't matter who's on the road, that they have children or family in the vehicle. They don't care. They're just going to do their deal.
Yeah.
Drives me nuts. I had a lady call me an a-hole and said, I hear you on the radio complaining about women driving on their cell phones. I complain about everybody driving. I think it's pretty cool, though, that you can have your cell phone, drink coffee, and put on makeup at the same time. That's pretty impressive.
Sadly, in those 12,542 truck accidents in Texas during 2023, 563 people died. Furthermore, in the state of Texas, there were over 4,700 traffic-related deaths in 23, and truck accidents accounted for 12% of all fatalities on the road.
Yeah, but we don't know what that's from.
Well, that I brought up about the fact of how much stuff falls out of these.
Why don't you Google how many accidents are caused by being on cell phones a year?
They don't know that.
They do.
No, they don't. I looked it up, and what they say. They have an idea, but there's no way to confirm that or the use. Maybe talking, they might be able to dial in if they were on the phone at the same time, but there's no way that they might have been watching something or doing something on their phone if there was an accident. I looked that up, and they feel like it's very understated.
It was a while back. I saw a lady on her cell phone not paying attention and caused the wreck. And she got out and she's screaming and hollering and everything. I pulled over and I walked right up to the guy. I said, "Look, I saw her on her cell phone with it in front of her face.
Wow.
And here's
Good.
my information." And her whole demeanor came down. And so the cops were there and he goes, "Well, you're a witness." Yes, sir. This lady was right next to me. She had her cell phone in front of her face, talking away, not even paying attention, and bam, there was the wreck.
Well, more people need to do stuff like that.
Yeah, they won't stop. They're in too much of a hurry. Don't want to get involved. Too much of a hurry. You'll make a big difference in people's lives by doing that.
Well, it helped the person that she was lying about.
Yep. It just drives me nuts when I pull up and I see that many people. There was a person today that I stopped and got my coffee, and they were on their cell phone, already got their coffee. I just laid on the horn. He goes, he lowers his window, he goes, "You got a problem?" I went, "Yeah, I do. I'm trying to go somewhere, get off your stupid phone and get out of the way."
Yeah.
And I'm like, and the people at the coffee shop were just laughing. "Well, I didn't see you back there." I said, "It's because you're on your cell phone."
Yeah.
Like, that stuff drives me nuts that it's your world and we're supposed to be in it because you're on your cell phone. Grocery stores. The other day, there was a lady in the grocery store. She was talking so loud, I walked right up to her and just started talking to her real loud. I went, "Hey, how are you today?
that's
How long
funny.
have you been shopping?"
That
here?"
is
And she's looking at me, and she goes, "Excuse me." I went, "Oh, I thought you were having a conversation with me because everybody in the store can hear you." And I just kept on walking.
Well, how many times I've answered somebody because I thought they were talking to me and they're just on their phone.
Now, it's different at my house. My wife's talking a lot, but it's always to the dogs. I think she's on the phone or talking to me. I said, "What'd you say?" "I'm talking to the dogs."
Yeah. I get that same thing in my house.
I'm at.
I thought she was talking sweet to me and she's talking to one of the dogs. Oh, sorry.
I'm at Dick's Sporting Goods, and this lady is so loud. And I held up a shirt. I said, "Ma'am, what do you think about this hurt?" And I am so loud. She goes, "Excuse me." I said, "Oh, I thought you worked here and you were helping people over the phone find clothing and everything, And she was like so mad. And finally she walked by me and she kind of snickered like, "Okay." Drives me nuts. And then you go to church and everybody's on their phone in church. Unbelievable. The second he goes, "You're dismissed," or whatever, boom, on come the phone. What did I miss while the preacher was talking?
A lot of the preachers have to tell everybody, be sure and turn your cell phones off. Really?
Don't turn it on till you leave the building.
I think we're back on the air, aren't we?
We are. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. So,
I got a question for you. When you're out and about, do you play any games? So, for example, one of the games I like to play, and is beating my GPS time.
No.
You know, like it says, your arrival time is 4:05. I'm going to beat that.
No.
So that's one of my games. And the other game, and I know you won't do this because you fill your vehicles up all the time, but like if I'm going to get $20 or $25 or $30 in gas, I try to get it right to land on the $25 or the $20. That's a game.
I'd like to get you in the truck and play Slug Bug.
Okay. Let's do it.
You know what Slug Bug is there, Junior?
Yes, sir, I do.
Let me tell you, driving to Hot Springs, Arkansas with 7 kids in the station wagon playing Slug Bug got way out of hand.
Where you get hit was first seeing a bug.
Oh, yeah. And then my brothers would go,
Remember those?
what?
Spadiddle. That's where you see a car with only one headlight. It's called Spadiddle. If you get it, you get to hit the person.
See, my stepsister, it's not even a game. It's just it's an involuntary. You're a part of this.
You know whether you want to be a part or
if
not.
you're in my vehicle, I'm gonna hit you when I see a yellow vehicle.
Or Volkswagen.
Yeah, my brothers would slug you and go, yeah, it was a Volkswagen. It wouldn't even be a Volkswagen. My mom goes, well, if you're going to be upset, don't play the game. You'd get to Arkansas, you'd have a big old bruise on your arm, from Slug Bug.
That's funny, yeah.
Yeah. So here's the deal. We're going to play trivia starting at the 11 o'clock hour. And if you want to play along, it's automotive trivia. You get your choice of a Automotive Edge T-shirt or an Automotive Edge hoodie mailed directly to you. So coming up here at the top of the hour, we're going to have automotive trivia. And you can request even a coffee mug. And we got the new Automotive Edge coffee mugs, the Automotive Edge hoodies, and the Automotive T-shirts, whether it's short sleeve or long sleeve, in black or white. You don't get to choose your color. Okay, and let me just clear that up because I had one guy call me and he goes, hey, I only like blue. I'm like, well, then go to the store.
Well, they can request a black or white.
Yeah.
But they can't request like some
Yeah, we're not going to do
red,
that.
blue, yellow.
One guy actually said, hey, could you send me a hoodie? He goes, what's the head Belichick? You know, he always wears the hoodies with the cutoff sleeve, even if it's ice cold outside. And he goes, could you send me one of those one with the cutoff sleeve? I went,
cut it off yourself.
Cut it off yourself. And he goes, oh, so you won't do it? Like, I'm a professional sleeve cutter. But anyway, coming up at the top of the hour is automotive trivia. If you want to play, write the number down, 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. Don't call any sooner because we're not playing until we come back from the 11 o'clock break. Automotive trivia. And if you want to play, we'll send you a hoodie, a T-shirt, coffee mug.
And Facebook, you're going to have to call, right?
We got keychains. We got pens that we're going to throw in.
We're going to make them call?
You got to call in.
Yeah, so
we're not going to play online.
No, don't.
Because then you get to Google. We're not going to let you Google. You're going to have to go right off the cuff.
Right.
And don't answer it online and cheat, okay? Don't cheat. We'll catch you, and then we're going to put you in automotive jail. We're going to send the automotive sheriff out.
And he's loaded.
That's right. And if you don't believe it, we're going to take the air out of your tires, all of them, so you can't go anywhere, so you can't cheat. That phone line will be open, 214-787-1190. Here's some of the cars that will no longer be around come 2024. After 2024. It's the last model build, 2024. I've talked about these quite a bit. The Charger and the Challenger are gone. The Audi R8 and the TT, gone. The Kia Stinger, gone. The Nissan Maxima, the Mazda MX-30 EV, the Jeep Renegade and Jeep Cherokee will be gone. The Chrysler 300 will be out the door. The Lincoln Aviator, the Chevy Camaro, all the C-Class coupes with Mercedes will be gone. The Nissan Titan, they're getting out of the big truck business, will be this last build year. One car that blows me away because as fast as they get them on the property, they're gone. The Chevy Malibu. Cannot believe the Chevy's getting rid of the Malibu.
What about the Camaro?
It's done its time. They don't sell a lot of Camaros.
Well, it's been around forever, though.
Well, you realize that they went away for quite a few years and then brought it back, I think, in 2012, when Bumblebee hit, blah, blah, blah. But it just doesn't sell anymore. The Durango will be out the door. The Ford Edge. The G70 was announced that they will no longer build it, but it did not come from Tata Motors. So Hyundai, the G70, I don't know that it will be the Genesis line from Hyundai. It for me, it was a question mark. People say, what is Genesis coming out and getting rid of? We heard the G70. Well, it says it looks like, but I did not look when I went to the website where Tata Motors or anybody had announced the G70 would be gone. The Kia Rio will be gone, and then the Mini Clubman. I am really kind of blown away that Mini is still here. I've never understood that car. I guess when it first came out, it had the red, white British stripes on it, and the green one with the green stripes. I mean, it was kind of that niche
nostalgic look from Britain.
Never got it. I never thought it would amount to anything. I thought it was going to be out the door when Hummer left and then Saab left. I figured the Clubman would be right behind it. The whole line of Mini Cooper. Then it became the Cooper because they say, well, Mini.
There was a negative tone before they tried to drive like if you're a big guy or something, you're going, I ain't even going to go check that out.
Yeah, I mean, if you're, Jack LaLanne or Richard Simmons fanatic, Mini Cooper kind of worked out for you. But, for guys my size, we didn't get a Mini. It looked like when we got out, we were part of the clowns from Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus. How many fat guys like Kirk could you shove in a Mini Cooper? But anyway, so far, and the list continues to grow. And so here's the key. A lot of people have contacted me going, if I buy these and I hold on to it, what will it be worth later? And let me just tell you, there are very few modern technology vehicles that have been purchased that have held a continual high resale value.
Like back in the day?
Very few. Well, FJ Cruiser was, which Toyota built, has one of the highest resale value to sticker continually.
Right.
They go through auction. It's incredible the hands that go up and what they pay for those. The next would be the Honda S2000. If you see a Honda S2000 for sale, it goes immediately, whether it's a hardtop or a convertible. When they go through the auction, they sell very, very quickly. There's a very strong cult following for the S2000 because a lot of them modify them and they race them. Like they have the Miata Club. The Miata Club, the Miata Race Circuit, which I had a buddy that was on that. I had no idea how many people race Miatas.
Yeah.
And so the Miata was fading away. People were buying them up and they become a part of this race club. Same thing with the S2000. Almost every S2000, unless they're people my age, are all modified cars. And when Honda came out with the S2000, I couldn't keep them. I mean, as fast as they were hitting, they were all pre-sold. I got in trouble for selling them way over sticker. That only happened one time. Then we started selling them at sticker, plus as. But it was that cool vehicle that you could do so much to. So as when I went down the list, your Challenger, when you get into your Red Eye, your Jailbreak, your Hellcat, your wide body, some of those vehicles, I think will hold a very good value for a long time because, the only American muscle that's really going to be left over is going to be the Mustang and the Corvette. And so with that being said, there's very few of these cars that you can hold on to that if you go, well, I figure that if I buy it now, they're discontinuing here in a few later, so I'll make money off of it. Don't go into it doing it that way. Don't. Unless you're buying one of the high-end Challengers. That's really the only vehicle on the list where I would go, you may be okay if you buy it right, down the road, sell it.
Well, I think a lot of people are buying them because they want them before they're gone.
Yeah.
Maybe more than buying it for, profit down the road.
Yeah, but the rest of the list, buy it to own it, buy it because they're discontinuing, they're getting rid of them, putting good incentives and rebates and lease programs, whatever on them. But don't do it as an investment. There's only one on the list that I would look at it that way. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. Live today, Classic Kia Carrollton. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
A what?
The charger for this, it's in the front. Rocking and rolling today here. Go ahead. You lost your headset.
Did I hear a Corvette American Muscle in the same sentence?
Yeah, it
Do
is.
you
an American
consider Corvette American muscle?
Oh, no doubt, 100%.
Where's the muscle?
Where's the muscle?
Where's the muscle?
It's in the engine.
In the gasoline motor.
Yeah,
Ah,
and that's what all those cars like that Mustang, the Challenger, they're called American muscle because they're beefed up in their gas engines to be considered that. That's why they're called American muscle.
if I see a cowboy in high heels and a skirt, I call that a princess.
You're cruising, buddy. Could you plug it in over there
Yes, sir.
underneath? Going under or probably over is good.
Yes.
Mr. Chase,
Yes.
so we had a caller call in to correct you.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
What's his name? Clifton Kefford? What's his name?
Cliff and
Keller.
okay.
Yes. He called in to say that Tata Motors has nothing to do with, I believe, Hyundai. What you were saying?
They own Hyundai.
He was I asked him if he would like to tell you personally. He said, no.
What? Okay. Well, I'll correct him real quick. He said Hyundai had nothing to do with Tata Motors.
He was saying that Tata Motors does not own Hyundai. I don't know if that is exactly what he said, but Tata
Okay.
Motors of whatever you were saying that
Well,
Tata
we love
Motors
Cliff,
owns,
but he's absolutely
that's not
wrong
their
on
owner.
this.
Okay.
Come on, Cliff.
Cliff.
You're wrong. Look it up.
Yeah, post it on social media.
So they own Genesis, Hyundai, and Kia, right?
And Jaguar
And Jaguar?
and Land Rover
Wow.
and two other car lines.
Well, thanks for everybody being part of our broadcast today here on the Automotive Edge radio show. And be sure and like and share all of our social sites and share it. It really helps where people can know where to go to help with any of their vehicle needs, buying, selling, trading, parts, service, body shop. That's what we're here to do. We like more followers, of course, just in general, but the purpose is to help people out here, the consumer, so that they can know where to go, who to see, and what happens, and that they don't get taken care of, advantage of. So that's what we want to do, and that's why we're here. So let's help them out by sharing the broadcast. Let them know about we're on YouTube. That's at the
We
Automotive.
have Ralph on hold.
The Automotive Edge radio show on YouTube. Then on LinkedIn, it's Kurt Chase. Search Kurt Chase on LinkedIn. You can follow us there live, audio and video. And then on, of course, Facebook, the Automotive Edge Facebook page, and Shifting Gears. So let everybody know we're up here, what we're up to here on the shows. We want to help. Every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to noon. Oh, a little short break from go back here. Working my magic. We're
30
at
seconds.
Classic Kia Carrollton 35E and Frankfurt and Carrollton, Texas. Come out and say hello. Get an autograph from the great Kurt Chase.
No, Bo Carver. He'll sign your forehead.
Miro B. Lamar Carver.
Marabou.
Miro
Bonaparte. Lamar Carver.
I only sign people's whatever with tattoo guns. So
Tattoo.
if you want a
guns.
sign on your arm, you want it on your forehead. Marabou.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. This segment of the show is brought to you by Grapevine Dodge. Let me just tell you, that whole showroom, their main showroom, is completely gutted and under construction. They had to move over to the used car building. And let me tell you, the inventory is so deep that it's out on the streets, out on the grass, out on anywhere they can put it. And what does that mean for you? It means you can save you a ton of money by heading over to Grapevine Dodge, 121 in William D. Tate, see my buddy Wade, and make your car or truck deal or SUV deal. I'm telling you, when I pull up there, they have cleared off all the parking for 20, 30 cars right there in front of the used car building. But there is, my wife works there, and she can't even park. They have people going down to another business and parking and either walking back or shuttling back because the inventory is everywhere with their main showroom because they had to bring the fences way out to protect everything. And so they've had to spread the inventory everywhere on that property. What does that mean for you? It needs to be gone. It is a great time to take advantage of their remodeling at Grapevine Dodge, right there at 121 in William D. Tate. They've got some fantastic programs going on right now, from their Ram all the way down the Charger and Challenger, which are going away. They are not missing a beat on you getting a great automotive purchase or lease right now at Grapevine Dodge. Find them online 24/7 at grapevinedodge.com. That's grapevinedodge.com. Well, let's bring him on, the man, the myth, the legend, the birthday boy, the owner of your CBD store in Keller, Ralph Paul. Good morning and top of the day to you, buddy.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you gentlemen doing?
Are we supposed to sing happy birthday to him?
You want to sing him happy birthday? Let's do it. Okay.
All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
dear Ralphie.
Happy birthday to you. Yay.
And many more.
Yes, sir.
On Channel 4.
Thank you. Thank
Walk
you.
out
thank
the door.
You. Thank you. Thank you.
I tell you what, you make 55 the new 42.
I wish. I wish.
So what's going on at your CBD store in Keller today? You know what? My who was it? Somebody reached out. Oh, my wife called Chrissy because my aunt loved your product so much that we gave her when she was here. She wants her friend in Georgia to start using it. So we got Chrissy connected with my Aunt Donna's friend in Georgia to get her using CBD.
Oh, super. You know, we do ship for free, and we ship all over the country. We have a lot of people on auto ship. So on the 15th of the month, boom, you know, we ship it out, no questions asked, and it's been a real joy experience. So, but one of the things I was going to just mention is one of our new products is Trim, and that's a weight loss product. There's no caffeine or stimulants or anything of that nature in it. It just targets the CB1 receptors in your brain, so you're not hungry. So we actually have clinical trials, and you know, what they found was the average weight reduction was about 9 pounds. The average waistline reduction was about 3 inches. Wow. And the BMI body mass, dropped about 8 points. So we've had some real success with this, and it comes in a pill and a gummy. So, you know, feel free to give us a call. Let us educate you. You can catch us on our website, yourcbdstorekeller.com, or our phone number's on there also. Feel free to call us so we can educate you on it.
Yeah, the conversation is important. You know, I have conversations all the time, and I've given away so much product. I've just gave away another 4-pack of seltzer. The guy called me. He goes, I absolutely love it, but I want my doctor to review it. I'm like, great, take it to your doctor and review it. Most doctors won't endorse it. There are some that will, but everything that we take and ingest at the Chase family household and with our dogs and friends, everybody is going, wow. I went over to Joe Bag of Donuts CBD store, and all they said was, this is on sale, and what do you want? And Ralph, when they come into your store, your employees are having a conversation because they just don't want one and done. They want to help create a new lifestyle for the consumers.
Absolutely, and there really is a big difference in CBD products, and that's why we'd love to talk to you and educate you. You know, we usually follow it up with phone calls and so forth, and the great testimonies that we listen to every day. It's just so rewarding.
Ralph, isn't it really true that that's the case with anything, that there's differences in all kinds of different products, but you guys are top of the line, and you know you're very knowledgeable, you help people, and that's the big difference, is that there's a place to where you can answer these people's questions instead of going to a convenience store and just saying, what is it? Well, I don't know, it's just here for sale. So, you know, that's why people need to give y'all a call so they can get educated on those things, because y'all are very educated and can help people out quite a bit.
Absolutely. And there's so many variables, you know, weight, severity, metabolism. So that's so many variables as far as how much to take. Different products work for different people. You know, on our sleep gummies, our doctor, he puts kind of the recipe or the formula on the cap. And, you know, has more CBN or more THC. And, you know, again, just different products work for different people.
And we got to remember that this next week, speaking of the July 4th, going to be a lot of fireworks going around people, and most of the dogs that I have and animals I have, they're running. They don't like
Absolutely.
it. They hate it.
We have a big sale on for from now to this week. It's a bundle. You get if you buy all 3 products, you get 20% off. So, you know, we have the Just Chillin' to mellow you out. We got the movie Easy for older dogs. And then we have a probiotic blend for digestion, and then a skin support for allergies. So we've got 4 different products, and then we also have the tinctures also. So, yeah, July 4th, we usually sell out of dog products.
I bet
it's
you
a big seller.
You know, we were in Pensacola, Florida last week, and Melinda didn't have her nighttime gummies, and so Ralph told us where the store was. We went over. We didn't tell the girl that we know anything about CBD, and it was amazing the interview that she gave us standing there in the store. Well, let's talk about your sleep habits and what time you go to bed and this, that, and the other. And started asking all these questions, and I said, how impressive was the same education that we get in Keller and the listeners and the consumers get in Keller, we're getting in Pensacola, Florida.
Sweet.
And then she goes, here, can I get you something to drink, cup of coffee, bottle of water, whatever. I said, well, here, by the way, let me just tell you, we've been users of your product for years, and the store in Texas actually sponsors the radio show. And she said, really, and kept right on going with, so what are you taking and how much are you taking? And this, it was just phenomenal. We wound up buying a jar of the gummies and a couple of the samples of the cream. And I'm going, how cool is it to work for a company that you know exactly what you're ingesting or putting on your body before and after?
Absolutely, absolutely. And, you know, we just really thrive on that. Again, you know, to work with us, you got to listen to 28 different webinars, you take a test, the whole 9 yards. So, you know, we're just here to help people. Again, my wife and I have been retired for about 20 years.
1 minute.
It's so rewarding helping all the individuals. And great stories we listen to every day.
You know, there's a great commercial many years ago that was out, and it said the mind is a terrible thing to waste. And with you guys at your CBD store, nothing's wasted, because your interview process for what's going on with you, what's your situation, what's going on with your health. You want to know that all up front versus just take some of this and let's see what it'll do for you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And there's QR codes on the products, too, so people can see
30
what's
seconds.
on them, too.
Yep. Your CBD store at Keller.com. That's your CBD store at Keller.com. They ship for free, but get educated. They're a brick and mortar. They're on Main Street in Keller, or just make the phone call. It's on the website, your CBD store at Keller.com. Ralph, have a big day. I'll see you after the show. And thanks so much for partnering up and changing people's lives with your CBD store, Keller.com.
Thank you, gentlemen. Hey, and if I had the opportunity to buy a 442, I wish they would bring one out.
I hear you. Let's take a quick break, introduce you to some more great sponsors. Don't go away, because we'll be right back.
So, what does your day look like today, Mr. Chase?
Straightening up the shed, emptying more of the garage. My brother's coming over. I bought the new garage door opener.
Oh, cool.
He'll be over Monday to get it installed. The guy to fix the shower that we put $2,000 into, and no one's fixed it yet.
That's beautiful.
And pretty much getting the garage cleaned up because I want to take come August or whenever it starts to cool down and polyurethane the garage.
Oh, that's cool.
Get it painted, cleaned up, and then I've got some boards that I have to
So some
place and
little
rearrange
work,
up in the attic
little
to
work,
get some
kind of
storage
work
up there.
weekend, huh? That's cool.
Yep. Putting in a new ladder up to the attic. This wooden one, you get on it, and I don't know how old this thing is. I think it was
scary.
The house was built in '99, and it makes a lot of noise going up. And a guy my size does not need a noisy
little
ladder.
scary.
Little sketchy.
Well, the last thing you want to do is fall again or trip or something. The last time you were out are you feeling better now? Back kind of feeling good?
Back's 100%. I feel.
Right.
I'm not. If there's something really heavy, I don't mess with it. I
Good
get
job.
tired or whatever.
Good.
But I'm. I decided to redo my whole front yard. I'm redoing the whole thing. I'm tired of having big flower beds. They're huge, and
What are you going to do? Just make it grass?
Well, I put in all that river rock.
I know.
And I'm going to move it up 3.5 feet.
Out? You mean
in?
out? Oh, in. Okay.
And cut those flower beds down in half. There's so much. I mean, it's so big, and I cannot keep up with the weeds.
Why don't you put ivy all around? Let it just cover the ground.
Whew,
I love
throwing a bunch of that monkey grass.
That's
Let it
good.
go.
I love monkey grass. Are you kidding me? That's great stuff. Remember when people used to line their, walkways with it and everything? This is good looking stuff. I guess it's kind of.
But now it just gets so big so fast.
Yeah. I
And,
know.
even when you put in the mini don't stay mini long.
It grows quick.
And yesterday, I was trimming the trees, the bushes, and I had those big brown sacks that you buy at Lowe's.
Right.
I had 6 of them filled with weeds and branches. And then I went out yesterday, and I went, there's still more weeds. I'm so done with it. And the guy goes, so I started moving some stuff, and he goes, what do you got going? I thought you just redid all this. Yeah, getting redone again. What I did was I just put the river rock in to make it look nice out front because I don't like those stones.
Yeah, I know. I don't blame you.
They're not my gig. And this gave it a really nice look, and I had it on my previous home.
So how are you going to move it in? Are you just going to just push it, rake it, and
Yeah, so you clean out the flower beds, and you mark your line, just kind of a little trench. You just take a shovel and drag it. Start throwing rocks. But let me just tell you, I'll do probably 30 foot at a time, and so part of the house will look real bad for a while until I get to it. But I don't care. I'm done. And all the big zigzags and loops and all that's gone.
It's gonna make it real squared out.
They put big bushes in the front and smaller ones behind it.
Yeah, so that's kind of weird.
Yeah, these beautiful red and yellow bushes are covered by these shrubs. I'm going, who designed this yard?
Well, they probably didn't realize the size of them when they put those in, how they would be.
Yeah,
Just
so I
guessing.
got 3 yards of dirt coming, and it's going to be tough because, you can't really plant the grass right now. It's just too hot. Unless you're willing to go out and water it every day, But I'm tired of pulling weeds. I'm so sick of it.
Wesley Stewart says, I was just on the CBD store website. I'm going to order a few things later this week. Well, thank you,
Beautiful.
Wesley. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Let them know that you listen to us on the show.
Yeah, type that in.
Yeah. Give them a call and let them know that you are going to order it and that you listen to the show, and you'll get a little extra discount.
Yep.
Blame it on my roots.
Yeah, I should have been the one singing this song.
I showed up in some boats.
Blame it all on my roots.
Matt, do you think I could redo this song and make millions?
I think you try, yeah.
Thanks, Maddie.
That's a
Thanks,
vote.
Maddie. That's a great answer.
That's a vote of confidence.
It was. It's better than no. Don't do it. Don't sing it.
That's funny.
Yeah, try it. There we go. There we go. That's my girl, Maddie. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. Now, remember, coming up after, excuse me, the 11 o'clock break, it's Automotive Trivia. If you want to play along, we got some hoodies and shirts and long sleeve, short sleeve, coffee mug. We'll put a nice little package together and get it mailed out to you. If you can answer the question correctly here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show.
And our social media sites, you have to call in.
Yeah, none of this popping it up on the. No. I'm not even going to read the answer.
No.
Oh, no, we're going to ignore your answers. So you got to call in to play along, and if you like to.
And we posted the number. Miraboo has posted the number up, 214-787-1190. So get ready to get that button pushed, and Maddie will take your call, and we'll see if you get the question right.
Yep. So I was looking at all the interest rates, and here's one really cool thing that is happening is the deals are starting to get a whole lot better. You know, the average interest rate, if you back up 90 days ago, was 6.75 to 7.15. I mean, big rates. And when you look at the publication on a lot of the rates, it's amazing that they publicize these rates. But I'm looking at 0% to 7.4%, 2.9% to 9.9%. I'm sitting here looking at these rates going, my gosh.
For a new car, 9%?
Yeah, 9.9. And a lot of the 9.9 is your higher rates for 84 months. And so a lot of the publications now, most of your 0 to 36, 0.9, 1.9 to 48, but now there's a bunch of 60s that just started popping up because the inventory went up to, they're saying about 4 million vehicles that are available for sale. And now with the CDK problem coming in and disrupting the auto industry, the cars are still being built, they're still being shipped, they're still being invoiced to the dealer, and so that inventory is going up again. And so what does that mean? When the inventory gets that high and starts moving up, you have to do two things. Incentivize with the rate or incentivize with incentives, meaning rebates. We always call it, instead of rebates, incentives, we always call it rebates. And so when you look at what Eldorado Chevrolet is doing in McKinney, $34,998 for a brand new 2024 Silverado crew cab. I mean, we're going back to where the numbers that we haven't heard in a long, long time popping up. So the truck wars are at it again. There's when you start looking across the board, depending on the make and model, because when you look at, let's say, your Ford Platinum Series, because there's not as many as your Ford F-150 XLT Series, they're not going to have your big incentives on it. But the meat and potatoes of the cars, when you look at a lot of your Eco V6s, your standard Silverado, standard Ford F-150, standard Rams, all these different vehicles, you're going to see big discounts. When you're looking at a sticker of 46.8 and you see a selling price of 34,996, that dispels all the myth about what positive or negative equity you're going to have when you drive off the lot. So the rates are coming down, and now the lease programs. I have not seen leases as low as they are here at Classic Kia Carrollton. When I was talking to the general sales manager here, I went, wait a minute here. It's $179 a month on this car, $199 on this month. This one, $259, and phenomenal lease rates. And what's going on is the lease pool is drying up. One out of three vehicles that were leased were turned in, and now it's 1 out of 6. They're buying them outright, refinancing the vehicle, so that pool of CPO, certified pre-owned vehicles, are drying up. So what do? They start putting out great lease programs, short-term. A lot of 24-month leases are out there right now. And why? They get those cars back in a couple of years, the dealer can certify them, and that pool of pre-owned cars they would much rather have than going to the auction trying to buy cars for inventory.
No doubt.
So that's the way it's working. But there are some 23 models out there, not too many. Porsche's got some 23 models out there left and a few others. A lot of 23 electric vehicles out there still for sale that nobody has claimed yet, and hopefully they won't. I didn't say that. But anyway, the deals are going to pick back up because here in July, the build out for 24, everything that's been figured through vendors and suppliers is done, and now we start moving into 2025. Like the Honda Pilot, I had a buddy call me, go, I don't want a 2024, I want a 2025. Well, almost every lot are only 2025 Honda Pilots. And so the move is happening.
30 seconds.
June is the end of the year, and now your 2025s are all going to start popping up, and that's good business for you, the consumer. 214-787-1190. Don't go away. We have Automotive quiz coming up here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show on 1190 KFXR, part of the iHeartMedia Network. We'll be right back.
Be right back. I'll keep the ball rolling.
Well, you don't have to even turn it on. Oh, no, you're all good. We'll go to the restroom. It don't matter. I can fix it.
Yeah, we don't need an accident here.
Yeah, no, you're good. Maybe too much. I love you.
Valerie Chase, good morning. Love, love, love you. You need to come to Texas. You need to bring your Viking and come to Texas and hang out. We'd love to see you.
Is this a all electric or is it hybrid right here in front of us?
100%. The EV6 and the EV9 are 100% electric. So they brought me the EV6, Jesse did, to my house, and actually took the remote control and drove it to the back of my driveway with nobody in it. It was really, really cool.
That's crazy.
I don't think I'm going to be trying that. With my luck, something would happen.
Yeah, right.
But the technology with Hyundai and Kia is just absolutely incredible.
So do you think there's any position for Tesla to still be like a consideration for an average person who's going to buy an electric vehicle?
Until they come down and start having that lower price point with it, which they keep lowering their prices, which is penalizing a lot of the vehicles that are out there, like the Acura ZDX. It's coming in at about 64.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Elon, since he controlled the company, he sets the price on it, and so now he's lowering and lowering and lowering the prices to get more to market. And the hot spot's going to be that $35,000 to $45,000 range with long range quick charging, and they'll just kill it.
Oh, welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, goodness gracious.
Where'd you get that shirt at?
I ordered somewhere.
Huh.
Shows you all the.
Let me see. Huh? Let me see.
Huh.
Oh, okay. A universe coming through the hand.
It's amazing how much things that we go through in life, and it goes through our hands.
Oh, no doubt. I wouldn't be wanting to make a trip to Texas right now with this heat. It is blistering.
Oh,
we got some really good overcast today.
You guys are just all weaklings.
It's pretty hot, man.
Summertime.
We had an outage yesterday.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
In your area?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You know why?
Heat
and humidity. It's a big deal.
Is humidity the biggest cause of that?
And let's see, he won some money in the Highland Games while we were there. When were you here? No, don't tell me you were here. You were here?
But Texas is pretty big. Where did they go? Well, they're out in California, so they're used to 70 degrees right around.
In Scotland.
It's going to be interesting.
Trying to steal the car here on the show floor.
I don't know why they would lock the place, but
yeah, it doesn't really make a lot of sense, huh? Oh, so the door handles disappear when the door is locked, and then they come out when it's unlocked. I was trying to figure it out earlier, but
I thought it just touched it and it would open.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
If you have the key on you.
No, but I mean, I didn't know it came out. I thought you just touched it and opened or closed. You know what I mean?
Like is it the Teslas, I think, that are like that, where you just press on the end of it and then
and the door pops open.
Yeah.
Well, the horn honks.
You know, what's weird is I probably wouldn't buy this vehicle just because of that experience if I was that group of people.
It's just that
It's just something about being the reason that a car alarm goes off.
I don't like the wheels.
Yeah, that on. What they put? Why do they put those kind of wheels on the EVs a lot?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I didn't notice that. That's really
all
ugly.
that flat they do on most
Very space age conservative kind of look. I don't like it.
of them. Yeah, I'm not.
I think if they came out, all EVs, when you look at their wheels, because I'm a visual person.
Yeah,
I mean,
too.
the look of the vehicle is good looking. The interior is unbelievable. The comfort of the seats, fantastic. The way they designed the headrest on those, absolutely incredible.
I like the black trimming going around all of it. I think
That looks good. I
think
like
that.
that.
Looks really nice.
Because I'm not a white person or color person anyway, as far as the color, so that does help give it a little more elitist or classic look.
I just don't like the fact that it's not a car. It's my biggest problem.
Look at that car.
Yep.
How many times you said that?
Yeah,
His
no
age
doubt.
wanting cars.
I when you get inside and you drive these, I mean, it doesn't get any cooler. The cool factor is phenomenal, but for me,
It's just all the stuff we
I like-
talked about earlier.
I'm a wheels guy.
Yeah, I agree.
30 seconds.
Yeah, the wheels are not what I would want.
I mean, if you're gonna do something like explorative like that, it better look cool.
Right. Exactly.
If it's gonna be explorative and just tacky, then probably not worth it.
I'm gonna tell you, when you drive them though, man, they'll fly like a wild
Oh, the
banshee.
acceleration, yeah.
The torque on these is absolutely incredible.
What's the weight on this thing?
I'm going to say probably right at 6,000 pounds.
Are you guys doing a
Hello,
contest?
this is your pilot speaking.
You open the door, it'll give you a GVWR.
Did you hear Maddie
Getting ready
What?
for takeoff.
asking if you were doing a contest?
Yes.
And we
Yeah.
should arrive at our destination safely and on
What'd you say?
time.
I can't hear.
We have a caller on hold.
Edge Airways, and I hope you'll follow us and use our services
Any
again
mess?
in the future.
Are you ready for the show?
Yeah, where's the question at?
Well, she's going to ask.
For
He's
the
going to ask.
show. Ladies and gentlemen, the show you've all been waiting for. Please make welcome Kurt Chase and the Automotive Edge.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. Norm Reeves Honda Superstore. Haley needs to be the person you contact over there. She is as good as it gets. Laid back, meat and potatoes, get to the point, test drive, show you, help you with numbers if you're ready to go today. It doesn't get any better when you're needing your new Honda at Norm Reeves Honda Superstore, North Richland Hills, and asking for Haley. I've been on the phone with her the last few days, asking about vehicles, looking for vehicles. She knows her inventory. She knows her Honda. She's one of the top decorated specialists there at Norm Reeves Honda Superstore, North Richland Hills, and they've got, I think, everything you could want in a Honda lineup in stock and ready to go. Even the new Prologue is on the property, the new all-electric vehicle ready for delivery. The place, Norm Reeves Honda Superstore, NRH.com. That's Norm Reeves Honda Superstore, NRH.com. From sales to service and everything in between, they've got you covered. If it's a Honda need, make it Norm Reeves Honda Superstore, NorthRichlandHills.com. All right. We're going to open up the phone lines for a little automotive trivia. 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. If you think you know cars and you'd like a new hoodie, T-shirt, whatever you like, we always put a nice goodie bag together with coffee mugs and keychain. Really cool keychain. Bo introduced me to those, and those are the bomb.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Everywhere I go, people go, where do I get one? I always keep a bag open in the car.
Good.
214-787-1190. We have somebody on hold?
Yes, we do.
All right. Who do we have on hold joining us today? Hello, caller.
Yes, hi. This is Cliff and Keller.
Oh, here we go.
All right, Cliff, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So,
I'm not good at trivia, but
okay.
I want a hoodie, so
Got it. Okay. In 2002, Ford introduced through their luxury brand their pickup truck, which was their brand is Lincoln. What was the name of the Lincoln pickup truck in 2002 that Ford introduced?
Blackwood.
Beautiful.
Gosh.
Boy,
that took no time.
Wait a minute. We got a ringer here. He goes, I don't know anything about trivia. It didn't even take him a blink of an eye, and he said
Car
Blackwood.
trivia. Well, I didn't know it was going to be car trivia.
It's all car trivia. All right. Hey, Cliff, Maddie, put Cliff on hold and get his phone number, and I'll call and get his address. I don't want to take it over the air, and we'll get that. I'll get his size and color and get that shipped out to you. Thank you, Cliff.
Good job.
214. Well, that was quick.
Hey, and by the way, Cliff.
214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. If you'd like to play along, because you can't play online. Bo is not going to answer.
Right.
Not let you answer your question online. We're just not going to. So we're going to be mean about that. Bo's going to be mean about it.
Got a call.
Can I make you mean about it?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, that's good.
I don't get a chance to have that very often.
That's right. So if you want to play trivia for a brand new Automotive Edge hoodie, T-shirt, short sleeve, long sleeve, and then we're going to throw in the coffee mug and the keychain, everything, get all that shipped out to you. 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. You got this segment of the show, and you want to play along. If not, then we're going to do a little trivia with Bo. We're going to see what Bo remembers in the auto industry.
Here we go. You remember, I slept.
And then, Bo, we can say, would you like to play for Cindy Beauclair?
Ooh, yeah. Hey, we could do that. Or we could do like that show that they say, can I make a call to someone? Remember where they
phone a friend?
Phone a friend.
That was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yeah.
Phone a friend.
I need to phone a friend. You get a chance to do that, right?
Yep. You do the 50-50 phone a friend, or
you could ask somebody in the audience.
Ask
Remember, you
someone
could
in
do
the audience. Yeah. Phone a friend. Boy, for someone that doesn't know trivia, I think he was, what do they call it, sandbagging?
That was a grand slam right off the bat.
I mean, he must have had Siri listening.
Do what?
Another caller.
Another caller on hold for the trivia.
All right. Who do we have with us on the phone today? Hello, caller.
Yeah, this is David from right outside of Beaumont, Texas.
Oh, no.
It was Bo.
Yo.
Did you say you know Bo?
I do.
You're
I
automatically
do.
disqualified, sir. Thanks for calling the show.
I can appreciate that.
Well, thank you, man. Come on, please.
Okay. Taurus, the great Ford Taurus, one of their top-selling cars ever, at the time had a sister in the Mercury division. Do you remember what
that would be the Sable?
Very golly.
He's from Beaumont and he knows Bo. Would you expect that he would not answer that? Is this David Studdard?
Yeah.
David.
It is.
Great hearing
Way
your
to
voice,
be,
my friend.
David.
It's fantastic.
Fantastic. Well, David, we're going to put you on hold. Maddie will get your phone number, and I'll call you, and we'll get you set up.
All right. Sounds good.
Thanks, David. Man, these guys are
take care, David.
I mean, quick. They're pulling the trigger fast.
Well, he's a royal purple.
There you go. 214-787-1190. If you want to play trivia and get a nice gift sent to you, either a hoodie, a sweat top, T-shirt, and then we'll throw in some more goodies. We got the coffee cups and the can openers, actually a keychain with a bottle opener. Man, those are cool.
This right here, as a matter of fact, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's pretty sweet. And
so he's got it in black, and then I've got it in the red.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
And so these are cool. These are nice little keychains. Got the Automotive Edge logo on it. So give us a call, 214-787-1190 if you'd like to play along. That's 214-787-1190, 2 for 2. They're quick.
Well,
I know.
those answers,
milliseconds, too. I mean, just...
Yeah, the answers are not easy. I didn't know that.
You want to try one?
No. I don't.
214-787-1190. I sat on the phone with a buddy of mine. He is just a car fanatic, and we go at it all the time, and he just kills me. Even after 36 years in this industry, this guy knows
so much,
100 times more than what I thought I could ever learn in the auto industry, and he just rock and rolls right through them. 214-787-1190. Remember, when you go in the dealership, a lot of people are saying, well, I'm not buying because of the interest rate. Look at the rebates and the incentives that you are getting and do the math that way. because you have a high interest rate of 5.9 or 6.9, but you're picking up $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 in discounts. I have no problem with that because when the rates dump, go refinance the car. I'm telling you, there's some big discounts there, and I get the phone calls all the time going, hey, Kurt, I'd love to buy this vehicle, but they told me 6.9%. And so I looked up the car, and I called the dealer buddy of mine. I'm like, buddy, you're getting $10,000 off. And he's got an 800 Beacon score, and that's where I get it. People that have prided themselves on taking care of their credit, maintaining their credit, and they get hit with a high interest rate because we have the wrong people running our government. I get it. But when you look at the math and you're getting a $10,000 discount, hopefully we'll get the right person elected in office. We'll change this thing around. Inflation will go down, and then refinance the vehicle. And because you're sitting on a huge equity situation right now. And I'm having that conversation a lot with people going, look, I'm not just promoting, hey, go see my sponsor and buy a car. I'm telling you that you have to look at the math before you say, I'd never pay that rate. Well, for me, when I bought my truck, they had a high rate, but they also had $11,000 in discounts. I didn't care. I took the $11,000 in discount, pay a little bit higher on the rate, and I drove off the lot. And right now, because of the condition of my truck and the mileage of my truck, I've got $8,500 in equity, and the truck's a year old.
I see that sucker being sold soon.
No. That one's staying in the Chase family.
Yeah, okay.
That EcoBoost, buddy. It's
what's the longest you've had a car in the last 10 years?
Well, you know, it's kind of funny you ask that question because I pulled my credit bureau. I look at it bi-monthly,
right?
Because there was a couple of hacks with some of the companies I used to do business with, so I've been checking my credit.
Right.
And I looked at my car notes and how many I've had in the last 6 years.
It was through the roof.
There was a few.
Like 4 pages.
Well, no, there was a few. There was a few. But the thing about it is that I research when I go to buy a car, and then I buy base model cars. Like when I bought my Challengers, I bought them stripped out with RT Hemi in white, and then I did my deal to them
with the tires,
and every one of them. Right. Somebody looked at the car and said, hey, is that for sale? And to me, it's just a bucket of bolts. I am not in love with any of my vehicles. The only one I've been in love with is when that title comes over, and then I'm in love with that vehicle because I know I don't have any more car payments. But I haven't lost money on one vehicle that I purchased. And, you know, I always tell people, look at the residuals because the residual says everything about what the manufacturer says. Well, there's some products out there with low residuals because they don't sell a bunch of them. The manufacturers don't want to lease them. They want them sold. But there's some that go against the grain of everything that I preach about when I said look at residuals. Like with my boys, when I bought each one of them a car when they graduated college, had to graduate with honors, not getting any trouble, which I've been really blessed with great boys, and they got a car. And so I said, well, here's the car, because eventually you're going to want to trade out of it and get something else. Let you put you in a car that has a really high residual, and that way when you trade out. So my first son bought a Mazda 3. Zachary is impeccable with his cars, right. Immaculate. He turned around, he had $4,500 equity in his car. Turned around, trade it. Colton had a Honda Accord. Took care of it except for the very expensive windshield that he cracked for the second time. But he still had a ton of equity.
Right.
And so he was able to trade out of it. And so these first cars that you're getting kids, a lot of parents say, hey, let's get them a cash car. Once you get them a car that has a good resale value on it, a high residual, because that's what the manufacturer says about their own product.
I say that about people that they want to buy a cheap guitar for their kid to learn. And I'm going, why you want to do that? They're not going to learn on it, first of all, because it's going to be too hard. The strings are going to be too far apart. Give them a nice guitar. If they don't learn it, you'll be able to sell it and get that money back you put into it.
Yeah.
Same difference.
Yeah, it's a different mindset. You know, people say, well, if it's a cash car and they wreck it, well, really? And then there's no big deal if they wreck it. Well, how many do they get to wreck before their insurance goes through the roof and their premium's higher than their car payment?
Correct.
Just think about that. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. It's the Automotive Edge Radio Show. Quick break. We'll be right back.
Oh, we had a couple good winners there.
That was
a lot of fun.
Quick.
Well, it's good that they won.
You remember the Blackwood?
No, I don't.
So
Never heard of that.
yeah, so Lincoln took and decided to come out, well, Ford, let's come out with a luxury truck called the Blackwood. And it was the first tailgate that opened this way. And I'm going to tell you what, that thing, when you opened it up, it was from GM, the Chevy to the Cadillac. The way they designed this thing, Ford going to the Lincoln. And that Blackwood, my sister's sister bought a Blackwood and brought it over, and I was like, holy cow. Yes. Uh-huh.
What is that gentleman's name? He always introduces himself on the phone, but I can't hear it because it's poor connection over here. It's
Cliff.
like Cliff.
Yeah, Cliff.
Yep.
What's his last name?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll just write Cliff because I couldn't catch his last name.
Yep.
But I'll text you the numbers.
Cool.
Thank you so much for helping and being a part of it.
But it had the real wood grain trim. The leather was unbelievable. Most of them were black. And
was it like a 150?
Yeah. And this thing was so well customized that when you opened it up, you thought it was the Cadillac of trucks.
The Lincoln or Cadillac.
Oh, it was unbelievable. And now if you see a Blackwood for sale, gone. It's good.
When did they quit making them?
Back in the early 2000s. And I'm telling you, right when you opened it up, even the door strap handles were leather. Wow. I mean, this thing was the bomb. If you look it up, the Blackwood, and just take a look at the interior, because it had the dark walnut wood on it. I mean, it was the deal. And they had that tailgate that had the perforated aluminum all the way down.
Oh, wow.
That had the indentures to really make it stand out as a vehicle. So, yeah, it was cool. All right, buddy, you too. We'll talk to you next weekend, Mr. Charlie Davis. Give Tammy a big hug for us.
Hey, man.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, when you look at the...
Is that it right there?
Yep.
When it had the Lincoln front end, too. That's sweet. Look at that.
Yep. And if you can go to the pictures on the inside of it, man, it was just, you opened it up and it was a luxury vehicle. If you tap on it, will you show it in the interior?
It didn't. It won't let me do it. Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Now, the tailgate was cool.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yep. That's the way every one of them were built. You can only get them one way. But
Pretty
that
sweet.
design on the lines on the back, on the side of the tailgate, cats me out.
Yes. It reminds me of the Pittsburgh Pirates hats when they do their classic with the stripes around it.
I can tell you one of the players right now.
Who's that?
Willie Stargell.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
Big Papa. He was the first Big Papa for Big Papa with the Boston game.
Yeah. And number 21 that played for the Pirates. You have a shirt.
I got a shirt.
Yeah, you have a shirt by him.
By who?
The baseball player.
Came from the Dominican Republic.
Oh.
You got a shirt.
I do have a shirt. I've
died in a plane crash.
Yep.
I also have another shirt from, I can't remember who.
That's you got it. Number 21, you got it. Well, it was.
No, I have that shirt, and then I have another one too from another player that's important.
Who was
historically?
30 seconds.
What was the player's name?
I can't recall it now.
It's on the back of the shirt.
One of my all-time favorite players too, and I can't think of it. I can't think of it. Brain dead.
I have no idea.
Do you remember?
I know exactly who it is.
Tell us who it is.
Nope.
Oh, I'm going to look it up.
Are you going to Google it?
Yes. I can't remember.
Wow.
That's what happens in this generation now when these kids can't remember something.
One of the greatest infielders of all time.
I thought he was an outfielder.
Sun shining in the sky. There ain't a cloud.
214-787-1190. You know, if you want to call and do a little trivia, we'll extend it through the top of the hour. 214-787-1190.
Yeah.
That's 214-787-1190. You want to have a little fun with a little car trivia, you can get yourself a new hoodie, long shirt, short T-shirt.
We're going to extend this game.
Yeah, we'll just go ahead and run it to the top
Yeah,
of
if
the
they wanna
hour.
give us
What
a
the
call.
heck? 214-787-1190. So on the leasing program, one of the big questions I got was, where are all the good leases? It's really, really tough. I think the leasing is going to really pick up in July because the inventory is starting to really blow up. They said a little over 4 million vehicles available, and right now the average down payment on your full line production car is about $4,000. On your high end, it's anywhere from $9,000 to $11,000 on the lease. But you got to realize that a lot of those are, $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 cars. So you're going to be needing the larger down payment. But if you look at, say, on the Kia line, on the $179 a month is with $3,900 down. And so you just have to go across the board and look and see what works for you, that payment with the down payment. And it's really simple math. People just complicate things and go, well, if I'm leasing a vehicle, I don't own anything. Well, if you're financing, on average is 72 months, you don't own it for 6 years anyway.
Right.
And so when you take the 6 years, when you add in your interest, add in your insurance, and do the math on all that, you realize what you're actually paying for the vehicle. Like my daughter, we were pricing out a vehicle, and then we got what the insurance was going to be. And on a $30,000 vehicle, after everything was all said and done, it was almost $48,000. We added the term with the interest and with the insurance. Went, this is not a good deal. Plus, the insurance was really high. And I'm going, so do the math on it. If you take a lease payment and you times that lease payment times 36 with what the down payment is, and then look at where you would be 36 months into a retail buy, that should tell you. But here's the thing. I'll give you the three reasons why to lease and 3 reasons why not to lease. One is, if you drive that 12 to 15,000 miles a year, lease a vehicle. Now, there's a lot of lease companies out there that tell you, oh, don't worry about the mileage. The mileage goes away when you go to trade it in. That's BS. Miles are everything. When I look at a car to appraise it, and all my buddies look to appraise it, they want the VIN and the mileage. Miles are the ultimate for a vehicle. And so either you're going to pay me now or pay me later on that mileage. They do go away with the vehicle, but they get added in somewhere. I promise they're going to be added in somewhere. It's not like you can take a 36,000 mile lease and put 80,000 miles on. Oh, the miles go away when you trade in the lease. Yeah, but they're going to be tacked on somewhere. They're going to go away, but they're going to come back on another level as well. So you have to be careful with that. 12 to 15,000 miles a year on these short-term leases. If you can do 10,000 miles a year for 2 years, that's a good thing. So mileage is paramount if you can fall into that. The other thing, too, is, are you going to maintain the vehicle, meaning take care of it? Are you going to take care of the car so when they open it up, all it needs is a good bath, and then you can turn the car or trade the car in? The third thing would be, do you like a new vehicle every 3 years? Do you like to keep up with the technology? Do you like to keep up with the design of the vehicles? The reasons not to buy or not to lease would be if all first 3 didn't work for you. It's just that way. The 3 are the same. If you drive more than 15,000 miles a year, chances are you don't need to lease. If you don't take care of your vehicles, don't lease. If you don't like a new vehicle every 3 years, don't lease. Bottom line. And so a lot of people, when they look at it and you see that you're saving 40 to 50% on the payment, that's true. But there's so many people that lease a vehicle and think, well, I can just do whatever with it. And at the end of the lease, turn it in. And they get hit for broken windshield and tires and damage. And they're going, my gosh, I'll never lease another car again. I'm like, look at what you did to that bucket of bolts. When they get upset and call me and I go look at the car, I'm like, folks, hang on a minute. That lease was owned by the lease company.
Right.
And you destroyed their property. I've seen some that, wow, I saw a Ram truck this guy went to turn in. I went, buddy, they are going to kill you on it. He goes, it doesn't matter. It's a lease car. $8,100.
Ooh.
He tore this truck up. The bumpers were damaged. He tried to cover some stuff up with paint. The bed was destroyed. It needed tires. The interior was just history. And he called me up and he goes, I'm getting an attorney. I'm like, don't waste your money. You need to save that money and pay that $8,100 bill. You tore that truck up. And I told him up front, don't lease this truck. Why? Because I'm looking at your truck and your car, and you're going to destroy this truck. He said, it's a lease. I'm telling you, they're going to kill you at the end of this thing. Don't do it. And way over on the mileage. It was just terrible. On average, there's a lot. I'll just say this: there's a lot of manufacturers that are building in money, $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 for reconditioning. But the kicker with a lease car is, remember, you don't own that car. Eventually, you're going to have to turn it in or refinance it. Where a retail buyer, you still don't own the car until you make that last payment and get the pink slip, and you can pretty much do what you want with it.
Well, one good thing, too, is if you are kind of on the bubble with the mileage and you say, well, I can't stay in that framework. I usually go a little over, so there's no way. You can tell them that you do a little more, and it will change the payment some, but you can still lease.
Yep.
And that way you don't have to feel like, okay, I can't stay in the 12 or the 15 or whatever mileage they set for you, that you can say, I usually do about 16 or something. Well, they can help struct that lease to cover that, so when you turn in, you won't be in a problem.
Yeah, or that's a great point. Add the mileage in to raise your payment.
Right.
Or send a little bit more money with your payments each month.
That's a good point, too.
To cover it. So if you're paying 20 cents a mile, then just do the math. Send an extra $20 or $50 or whatever. But at the end of the term, when they go to wash out and you have that excess money, you're getting it back if it was more than what covered your mileage. Correct. Remember that. So there's ways to do it to maintain a low payment, but leasing's not for everybody. And the big thing is when people go to turn it in, what they're being charged, because you have an inspector, then when you get within 30, sometimes 60 days of turn-in, they come out and inspect your car, and then they turn it into the manufacturer, and then you get the bill.
Well, the other thing is, too, is if you really whacked out that vehicle, then just buy it for the residual value and move on. Then you can fix it back up and resell it if you want to, instead of just turning in and getting that hit. And that's what a lot of people are doing, is that the cars are so well made that even if they've gone over mileage or whatever, they're just buying them because they buy them at the residual value, which is way less than you'd buy a new one anyway, or even a pre-owned one that they're selling out on the lot.
Yeah, because the dealer's going to get it for the residual from the manufacturer. Then they have to recondition the vehicle. They have to mark up the vehicle. They have to pay the money to get on the internet, all the pictures, this, that, and the other, and then it goes for sale. And so a lot of times when you're buying it for the residual, in today's market, you're exactly right. You're doing okay buying it.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you won't be able to replace it for what you have the residual for.
I mean, just like that ILX we got, I mean, the residual value on it is really nice to where at the end, I mean, it's going to be hard not to just buy it.
Yeah, well, if you take the residual and you go to buy the vehicle, you can probably add $3,000, $4,000 more to it minimum to buy it.
Correct.
If you were to turn it in and go, oh, wait a minute, I want to go back and buy it.
Exactly. No
You're
doubt.
going to pay a lot more for the car.
No doubt. So there's good positive things if you go over a little bit or do things like that, just to know that don't want to turn you off completely, at least if you can't stay in that 12,000 miles.
That's right. 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. We got a couple more segments left. If you want to play a little trivia for some goodies from the Automotive Edge Radio Show, 214-787-1190. I'm Kurt Chase with the great one, Big Wheels Bo Carver. Don't go away, because we'll be right back. Would you go to an Elton John concert?
Sure. I love Elton John.
Billy Joel?
I'm not a big.
You want to go to a Billy Joel concert?
I'm not really a big fan of Billy Joel.
Okay.
It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday.
But Elton John sings one of my favorite songs, and I just think he's very talented and very entertaining, especially when he was even younger, coming out with those crazy outfits.
Modern day Liberace.
He was awesome, dude.
I would have loved to go on one of Liberace's show.
That song, "I'm Still Standing," it's just fantastic song. I mean, it's just a good energy song, and what it stands for, like while people are trying to put you down and put you out of the way, and you're just saying, I'm still standing after all this time,
Yep. Does he still do concerts?
I think so.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to ever retire. He's just one of those kind of guys.
Well, I saw where that deal where Kiss wanted to do a virtual concert tour.
Okay. So why would you just go YouTube and watch them?
Yeah, that thing didn't ever manifest itself.
Crazy.
Well, I think what's her name was going to do that too, wasn't there? The one that's the Kelsey
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. She was going to do that too, I think.
Yeah, can you believe her movie made hundreds of millions of dollars?
Can you tell me something unique or special about her in any way?
Well, it's your flavor. I mean, the girl.
What flavor? Where's the flavor at?
We're looking
Well, it's
for it.
because you don't like her. I mean, but you're in the extreme minority because the girl's a billionaire now.
But it's a lot
And
of
the people
teeny
love her
boppers.
music and love her concerts.
A lot of teeny boppers are doing it.
You realize when she had that concert at AT&T, I forgot how many millions they said they made off just a memorabilia. It was unbelievable. People were there 2 days prior when they opened up all these trailers with the Taylor Swift stuff. The parking lot was full of people just buying memorabilia before the concert even started.
And why?
That's crazy. Well, I don't want to take anything away from it, but they do say that it's a general rule in radio when you're going to release a song that you're not going to release it on the same day or same weekend as a Taylor Swift release. Even if you are in scream rock or you're in, lullaby songs for 3-year-olds, because it does not matter what group of people is going to listen to your stuff, that overlaps with the group of people that's going to listen to the Taylor Swift release, because everybody on the planet. But I hear that. And yet I've never seen or heard anybody listen to her music.
I know a lot of people that love her music.
Send them my way. I'd like to hear something.
I'd like to talk to them.
They love her music.
I got some questions, man. I'm not even mad. I just
Maddie?
Yeah.
Are you a Taylor Swift fan?
I am not.
See, Maddie doesn't give off Taylor Swift vibes because she's having a conversation with us right now.
No,
And she's smart enough to know.
Hater.
Yeah. I can't.
There's one entertainer that nothing would slow this entertainer down by filling up, no matter if somebody was next door.
Wait, say that one more time again?
There's one entertainer that would always fill the stadium, no matter who's next to him, what's going on in the world.
George Strait.
George
Adele.
Strait. George Strait.
Yeah.
They said that he is
okay.
the king of concerts.
I've been told Michael Jackson shows were pretty crazy.
Well, if he was still here. they
Yeah,
would
that's
be.
what I was told that his were pretty crazy. That
Well, that show that he was going to do right before he died, they say was going to be just massive.
Well, didn't people used to actually pass out like it was a TV show or like a
Oh,
cartoon?
yeah, when they showed the people in the stands watching,
Elvis.
the women that showed up
Remember
for
Elvis?
Elvis, they'd pass out.
That's what they used to say.
When the British invasion came and they
Yeah,
were
the
coming off the
Beatles,
plane, all these people dropping
the
and passing
Beatles
out. I'm like, really?
Cause that too.
Crying. What are you crying about? What are you crying
Yeah,
about?
why are you crying?
I never understood that.
So in love.
They're just thrilled.
I mean, I get it when, Melinda cries and sees me. I get it, but
That might be for a different reason.
it's a different reason. I've just never understood all the screaming and crying. You know what? I remember when my mom on Sundays used to watch Engelbert Humperdinck and Tom Jones, and my dad would get mad.
Because she was watching for.
Why do you watch this? And you look at Jones, he could dance, but man, that music, he'd throw his body all over the place and take that rag with that nasty sweat and hand it to the women. I don't get it.
Flight 101. Please extinguish all cigarettes and cigars.
Melinda's
Place your
laughing.
seats in the upright position and fasten your seatbelts. Please do not try
Crocodile
to
Rock.
exit
I
through the
like
exit
that too.
3, 2, 1.
Warning. The information heard here on the Automotive Edge radio show may lead you to find a wealth of knowledge that could possibly save you time and money. If any of this information causes you to be bothered or upset, please sit back, relax, take a deep breath, and seek immediate help. Now, here's your host of the Automotive Edge radio show, Kurt Chase.
214-787-1190 is the number. We're here today live. Classic Kia Carrollton. Just go to the website, look at their inventory, and look at the phenomenal discounts and lease programs that they have going on today. I'm telling you, it's all the reason in the world to drive right here at the corner of 121 and 35. See the great folks here at Classic Kia Carrollton, especially their lease programs. We don't know what's going to happen in November. I know what I want to happen in November. But to protect yourself against inflation, whatever, look at their lease program. I got some program in there less than $200 a month. And then it comes down to people and the place, ClassicKiaCarrollton.com. So, still today's hot market, the hot market is cars. 2-door cars, 4-door cars is the hot marketplace right now. I booked out this last week about 40 cars, and people are blown away by what their cars are bringing. Not SUVs.
Well, what did Graham
not
say a
pickup
while
trucks.
ago?
Well, yeah.
We're looking at this really bad boy SUV here, and what did he say?
Which was a car.
Yeah, it's not a car.
And so there's, the thing is, there's a lot of people that are wondering where are the cars going that don't want an SUV, and now their choices are getting very limited. With the Malibu going away, the Charger going away, Volkswagen getting, I believe it's the Passat, it's one of their cars. I'm saying the Passat going away, where you're going to be limited to where Toyota and Honda and Kia and Hyundai and very few Lexus, Acura. Most of your brands are going all in on SUVs and pickup trucks. I don't get it. I don't understand it, because here's the thing. There was one line of vehicles that they had 4 SUVs that went, let's just throw out a number, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. And when you looked at them, they got a little bigger, just a little bigger, just the same, but more options, a little bigger, just the same, more options. And I'm going, why? That is not, you're forcing it to be the meat and potatoes, but that should not be the meat and potatoes of that car line.
Why are they doing that?
Well, you had the big wave of SUVs 14 years ago, roughly 14 years ago.
Right.
And that SUVs were going to be the thing. Everybody was going to go SUV. Well, guess what? Not everybody wants SUVs. And when you look at the resale value that people are getting on the sedans, it is through the roof. Even the older sedans. These older Avalons that are getting traded in, everybody says, the Buicks and Avalons and certain cars are all for old people.
Right.
I hear that all the time. Well, let me just tell you what. When they came out with the Avalon TRD and they came out with the Camry TRD, they came out with the Regal with the turbo. A lot of these cars, nobody was interested. Now you look at them on the pre-owned market, they're doing extremely well. And I just hope and pray that these manufacturers, it's amazing. These Malibus, the next group of Malibus are coming in, will be coming in August, and Jason Lawing at Eldorado said they're all pre-sold.
And that's
all pre-sold.
So that vehicle has been around a long time.
Long time.
And it's like one of the third best vehicles on the market.
Yeah, and I get the Impala going away because the Impala really didn't do anything.
Right.
When they came out with the Impala SS, and they had the big, 350.
That was a bigger vehicle than the Malibu.
It was bigger. Yeah. Everybody went cuckoo over it. And then the Malibu, they finally redesigned it, put some nice color to it, had some eye candy to it.
Right.
I liked it. And it's
and
gone.
Of course, it made it even better.
Yep.
Improved the vehicle
and
overall.
it just goes to show that a lot of people are going, wait a minute, what are you doing? And they're buying them before they're even built. And they don't even care color. I had a guy go, hey, how do I get a Malibu? And I don't care if it's black, white, green,
Just
purple. I want a Malibu. And so he's on the list with Jason to get one of the cars coming in. My son goes, hey, Dad, there's no Malibus. I said, they're discontinuing. He goes, how do I get one? And I'm going, well, the next one will be available the end of August. He's like, the end of August? And I'm like, yeah, and that'll be it. So I don't understand why they have the market has a big demand for cars. They're just in that big white ivory tower thinking otherwise. I wish they would go to the streets, quit looking at just surveys, and talk to the consumers. Have some roundtables. Get some people where you're bringing them into different facilities and talking to them. When you see that you have someone that's bought 4 Malibus, and then you see a consistency of buyers or whatever that brand is, go, hang on. I couldn't believe that Ford, I love their Ford Fusion. And I'm like, why are you getting rid of the
Yeah,
Fusion?
that's a really good car.
You know?
And the other thing is, I just wonder why, like, who makes these decisions? Is it a group or just some guy that comes in and goes like, man, I've just seen this Malibu so many years, I just don't want it around anymore.
Well,
Is it like that?
Well, let's think about this for a second. The Accord hadn't changed.
No, but it's still a top seller.
It's changed, but they haven't gotten rid of it.
Right.
The Camry, they haven't gotten rid of it.
And still top sellers.
I could go down the list of cars that. What about the Lexus ES series? What about the TL with the Acura? What about all the Mercedes-Benz cars? Let's take a look at the Audi cars. Let's take a look at Jaguar. Cars are still in demand, but here's the thing. If you're not going to change them up, make them sexy, make them appealing, make them aggressive, where the younger generation goes, that's cool, like a Mustang or a Camaro or a Corvette. And all of a sudden you start bringing in that cool factor for the younger people, because now marriage is starting to peak up a little bit. Childbirth is starting to peak up a little bit. And a lot of these people, they're not saying, hey, I want a Kia Sportage. I don't want a Honda CR-V. I don't want a Toyota RAV4. I don't want... They're looking for cars. And so now the CPO market, certified pre-owned car market, is booming.
Well, and the more that they get away from cars, the more that a car is out there, the more valuable that's going to be, because there's less to choose from.
Yeah, I really think that Ford not having a car and Chevy getting rid of the Malibu, that Mary Barra and what's his name, Farley over at Ford, y'all need to rethink what you're doing. And what they do is they finite all these. They have all these companies do all this analysis and everything else. And I'm like, well, hang on a second. Getting rid of the cars is the wrong thing to do. And now you're forcing your buyer to either buy what you have,
or go somewhere else,
which is going to start depleting, or they're going to be going somewhere else to find a car.
Right.
My son is 100% Buy American. 100%. He's like, well, Dad, now I'm going to have to look at, and you could just tell he was
not happy about it, right?
And so the survey I sent out saying, if you had your choice between a car and an SUV, and the price was identical, it was amazing. It was still 60-40 car to SUV. I mean, truck buyers are completely different. Take that off the board.
Yeah, we understand for manufacturing trucks, and we get that. But when you don't have, for somebody like Ford, to have a car that somebody can go to buy, to me, that's like cutting off your nose to spite your face.
Well, the big three, when you take away the Charger and the Challenger, what are you going to have left with Stellantis?
I don't know.
SUVs and vans and pickup trucks. And so I'm going, you know what? The auto industry was built on cars. And everybody says, Kurt, get with the times or get with the trends. But you know what? I talk to people all the time. In fact, I talk to a lot of people that say, I'm going to hold on to my car longer because they don't build them anymore, or they don't have anything out there that I really want.
And you brought this up, and I know we're going to break real quick, but you brought up a while ago where 1 in 6 people are not turning in their leases and keeping them because they're probably seeing that with the cars.
Yep, 100%. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. Let's take a quick break. I'm Kurt Chase with the great one, Big Wheel Bo Carver. We'll be right back.
So my buddy David, who called in one while ago, said that his 2 granddaughters are Swifties.
I see that, David.
Did you saw that?
I did see that.
They have been to several concerts. I even took them to one. I said, tell me no.
Tell him sorry.
Yeah,
that's what you need to tell him.
He says anything for the grandkids.
Exactly. God bless you. God bless your heart, because that's an amazing thing you're doing, and it's a great sacrifice. I put you 2 pegs below the soldiers that are serving this country right now. Just right below them, because, God bless them too for their service, but you're doing a service in your own way, so.
Well, I got to tell you, other than some of the old country songs, there's not a modern band out there that I like. Not one.
There's just not a lot of redeeming music right now.
And, when you look at, people like Adele and Taylor Swift and everything, a lot of their songs are from heartbreak.
Well, Taylor Swift's music is like entirely It's like watching a reality TV show, but they forgot to add any reality. It's just
funny.
useless nothingness.
I'm just waiting for
spewed on a continuous
for the-
pattern.
I like the sound of her music. The words I really don't care for, but there's a lot of songs out there that the beat is really
Right.
cool. You really like, but if they could just take the words out of it and just play the music, you know.
Well, yeah. If you take Taylor Swift out of her music, I think she's great too.
Well,
take her out.
I got to tell you what, I was with my granddaughter, and there was a couple of her performances. I'm gonna tell you, she is one heck of an entertainer, bringing the crowd into it and talking to the people out in the audience. I mean, she is one heck of a presence on that stage. And actually, I think she's a stunning looking lady, but I think her presence and what she brings, I think it's cool. And there's not a lot of entertainers, left that really bring that energy without the cursing, the filthiness. And I was watching this band the other day, and the guy come on, and I mean, he started out with the F word in his deal to the crowd. I'm going, what are we doing here? And, I still like some of the old clean rock and roll, the old Journey in Boston.
Sure.
Foghead, Bachman Turner Overdrive, stuff I never ever listened to. And the reason why, it's got a good beat and you can understand the music. And there's very few entertainers out there that have been, I don't understand what the heck they're saying. I don't. When I'm having to sit there, I know I need hearing aids, but when you can't figure out 90% of the song,
You know what's worse, Mr. Chase? When you understand 100% of the lyrics and still get nothing out of it. That's when music really bothers me, is when I get every word and I still achieved no overarching message other than, he broke up with me and that made me sad. But now I'm feeling better because time is a great healer.
I'm waiting for the big hit that what happens when she breaks up with Travis.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That'll be gold.
That's going to be a number one.
That'll be Bad Blood on fire.
That's turning into such a mess because all you see now is the Travis brothers drinking and slamming beers. And even at he was doing a graduation and commencement, and drinking beer on stage. And they just showed Kelsey's wife with 3 liters of beer in her hand. And she was saying, I'm like, what are we doing here? All y'all are doing is promoting drinking.
And
then they show all the girls up in the
crazy.
booth all doing shots and toasts. I'm like, keep the cameras off that crap.
1 minute.
You've taken something that was so wholesome and made it kind of crappy.
Well,
I just
I
don't
blame
like
the NFL for that, for allowing that.
Yeah, way too many times, the cameras were up there. I just don't get it. Didn't bring any more excitement to the game.
Well, they've
Doesn't
lost a
bring-
lot of viewers for it.
One more thing about Miss Swift before the show's back on. She regularly and routinely flies what could be like 10-minute drives. Regularly and routinely flies private, from one airport to another that is actually a 15-minute
She's
drive.
going green.
You know what? If I had her money in a private jet, I'd do the same
I
thing.
would not. I would.
You
never.
can't say that. If you were a billionaire with a private jet,
Over
you don't know
30
that you
minutes.
wouldn't do
Over 30
10
minutes.
seconds.
Over
Kurt, I
30
know
minutes
you,
I'm
and I know how you feel about heights. I could never see you in a helicopter or anything like that.
I wouldn't be in a helicopter.
I wouldn't be in a helicopter either, but 30.
Yeah.
I'm
But
telling you,
if it was
30 minutes.
if it was a G90 and I was jumping cities, I don't know.
But that's jumping cities, not suburban blocks. Like, she's jumping 2 blocks over.
Well, he's just a hater.
I'm right on board with him.
I can't stand her.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. It's the Automotive Edge Radio Show today live. Classic Kid Carrollton. I want to thank Jesse and the gang for having us out here and helping us with our automotive needs for you, the listeners. When it comes to Kia, my son's still driving his Forte. Ty Jemin drives a Classic Kid Telluride.
Oh, sweet. He just joined us a while ago, too.
Yep. Good morning, Ty. And I've
So
got
don't be dogging my helicopter.
a few other friends that are all in their Kias. And one of my friends that bought he might have bought a Carnival. I'm trying to think whether he bought the Telluride or the Carnival. But anyway, I have friends that have bought both, and the guy goes, man, if they could just take the Carnival name off the back of it, I don't get it. But now he drives it. He goes, I don't care if it said Mutt and Jeff on it. I love this vehicle. Anyway, come out and test drive for yourself. The World Car of the Year. They named it the Universal Car of the Year, the Kia EV9. And so there's something for everybody out there, whether it's a car which I'm glad to see their cars. All the way to their big bad SUVs, there's something here for just about every need. And if it's not a Kia new, they have the certified pre-owned and their pre-owned inventory out front. That's Classic Kia Carrollton.com. Let me sure we covered everybody. Hey, home of the Love or Leave It Promise. My buddy Cameron, the guys out of Grapevine Ford, we're going to be out there next week. We got to make up a live remote. We went, Maddie leaves town and we don't have a show. So, Maddie, you got to be here next Saturday because we're going to be at Grapevine Ford. You don't have a choice. You got to be here,
Don't
Maddie.
worry, I'll be here, I promise.
And they're the home of the true Love It or Leave It Promise with no games or gimmicks. You get that vehicle home and you're surprising your wife and she goes, I wish you'd have bought me the black one with the black wheels. Bring it back. Cameron will put you in it. He wants everybody happy, short-term, long-term, and always. And that's why they are the true home of the Love or Leave It Promise, selling the best-selling truck for 47 years now. The place, Grapevine Ford, right there between William D. Tate and Main Street on Highway 114 in Grapevine. Ask for Cameron Martin. Let him know you're listening to the Automotive Ed Radio Show and enjoy your Ford needs at grapevineford.com.
Ty says he's got a plan to get you up in the helicopter.
Yeah. Knock me out.
You better bring a lot of CBD.
Yeah. No, CBD ain't going to help.
Yeah.
Knock me out. I used to fly around with Mr. McDavid. I remember the first time Mr. McDavid, I was managing his Honda store, and he goes, and he always landed his helicopter, and he had this Italian helicopter with twin engine, blah, 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 and he had the whole inside redone. Everybody's talking about it. So Mr. McDavid, I'm up in his office. He goes, hey, I need you to go with me to Louisville because he owned a bunch of dealerships in Louisville and Irving and all over the place. Houston.
Right, of course.
And I said, what do you mean? He goes, we're going to go to Louisville Saturn. I said, let me pull a car in. He goes, no. He said, get on the roof. And I went, oh, no. I said, what do you mean? He goes, we're taking the helicopter at Louisville. I went, I'll see you there. And he goes, I'm not asking you. I went, oh, no.
This is a job.
And you get up, and the whole place is opened. I mean, there's no fencing or anything. And so Jimmy goes, you don't touch anything while you're on that vehicle. You know? and so Jay Torta was the CFO. He's sitting up in the right chair. And Tom was Mr. McDavid's pilot. And so I'm in the back seat with Mr. McDavid. Man, I'm sweating. I am just soaking. He's laughing. He goes, buddy, you've got a leak. And I mean, I am just. And he goes, here, I wanted you to look at something. And they had the new logo because he bought the Mavericks with Ross Pro Jr.
Right.
And I'm looking at everything. All of a sudden, this helicopter lifts up. I'm like, he goes, Kurt, just breathe. Just talk to me. So we're talking back and forth. And I didn't know that helicopters fly right down the middle of DFW, right down the center, like where the cars are going.
Right.
So he goes, you want to see something funny? And so he's got it switched, just me and him. He goes, this always is great. So he goes, he turns the deal where everybody's on the headset now, and he goes, hey, Jay, what is that over there on the right? He said, what do you mean? He goes, that deal on the right, what is it? And Jay goes, Mr. Mack, I don't know what you're talking about. He goes, no, look down. About the time he undoes his seatbelt, and Jay looks over the window and he goes, yeah, and shakes Jay. I thought Jay was going to die in that seat.
Oh, my
He sat back down, he goes, I promise I'll never do that to you. I didn't even think it was funny because I felt for Jay.
Yeah,
we landed, and he goes, you got a choice. And he goes, but I think I already know. You want to bring this vehicle back for Stacy, his wife? I'm like, yes, sir, no problem. And so the next time he goes, hey, we're flying to the Maverick game. I said, I'll see you there. And he goes, okay. And in a helicopter at night, there was nothing fun about it.
No, anything in that helicopter. So, Ty, you're going to have to knock him out to get him on that. I told him good luck while
I don't know what it would take to get me up there. I mean, if you said, Kurt, I don't know what could come out of his mouth to get me up there.
Well, knock you out and drag you on it, and you'd just be up on it when you got up there.
Heights and, being claustrophobic and heights
1 minute
are terrible. Speed,
we gotta go.
Always got a need for speed. Hey, I want to thank everybody for joining us here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show. We will help you with all your automotive needs each and every day. Just go to theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt, leave me your name and number. I will call you immediately after the show, and you never have to go it alone and never a fee for what we do. Remember, turn off those electronics, get reconnected. Tell that person you love them. Have a great Saturday. Stay cool and hydrated. We'll be back together next Saturday here on the Automotive Ed Radio Show. Have a good day.
Ty said he's going to get Connor to ask you.
What?
He's going to get Connor to ask you.
Yeah, go figure.
And thanks everybody for being part of our broadcast today here on our social media sites. Be sure and like and share it and let everybody know if they don't do Facebook, which is the Automotive Edge Facebook page, or Shifting Gears, our sister's Facebook page. They can find us on YouTube. So just go to youtube.com, search the Automotive Edge Radio Show. Say go there and check it out if you don't do Facebook. But if they maybe do LinkedIn as well, they can go there and see the broadcast on Kurt Chase's page on LinkedIn. So all these avenues to help people. So let them know we're here to do that and save them time and money and places to go with all their vehicle needs. Until next Saturday, have a blessed July 4th. We'll see you then.